Prepare yourself.
Oh, this is the Ninja Troll Digicast.
Hello again and welcome to the Cathedral of Wisdom for the Ninja Troll Digicast, your weekly punch of two-fisted justice right into the face of the evil villainy of boredom.
What are you even saying?
I don't even know. I'm sorry. I got a little carried away there, but that's what I do on the Ninja Troll. I can't help it because I love it. My name is Tim Dixon. I'm here as always with Mike Worth.
That's right, Timmy D. Welcome to the Ninja Troll Digicast.
Stop me.
You're done. Yeah. Listen, folks, we've got an action-packed action-adventure of action this week on this week's episode of Ninja Troll Digicast. It's action-packed.
Oh, we've got what I said was bad, but you're fine.
I'm good because I rehearsed it. You just fell off the stage.
That's true.
All right, listen. Listen, Dixon. We've got some new trailers and teasers out this week.
Cool.
Recaps of our favorite TV shows. Some rumors of some new movies and TV of our favorite heroes potentially to come. Yes. In the comic rack, we may have a glimpse into the future of one of the longest-running titles to this day. Mm-hmm. And, of course, in the Exploring the Multiverse segment, we return to the misty boardlands.
Yes.
For our next installment of the Countdown to Final Crisis. But first, we're going to wet your whistle with some tidbits.
With some giblets. So the first, the tidbit segment is just stuff that has come up this week that doesn't really fit in a category, but we think it's pretty cool. So first thing, Deadpool has passed both Iron Man and Man of Steel with box office receipts.
I'm not surprised.
It doesn't really
surprise
me. It doesn't surprise me as much with Iron Man because that was Marvel's first
soiree.
To tell you the truth, I didn't really know how it had done.
I didn't see Iron Man until it came out on DVD.
Yeah. So, but Man of Steel was a big deal.
Yeah.
So it does kind of surprise me that it's passed Man of Steel, but it is still raking in bucket loads of cash. It's crossed 700 million now.
It's hilarious. It's a great movie. It's pretty violent. I mean,
it's definitely very violent.
Yeah, there's a lot of exploding brains and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. But you had to kind of know that going in.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, or at least you should. Some people didn't.
Zod died.
It's true.
Superman killed.
But there wasn't any exploding brains.
That you know of.
He didn't squeeze his head. He just broke his neck.
That'd be
See, that would be different. That would be really, really wrong.
Yeah.
You can maybe make a case for him breaking his neck, but squeezing his head until it pops, no.
That'd be we say that for an Infinite Crisis movie.
No more silly faces.
Yeah. Black Adam.
I'm going to start saying that all the time.
No more silly faces.
And speaking of silly faces, Peter Dinklage is going to host. Come on, that was a segue right there. He's going to be hosting Saturday Night Live on April 2nd. Of course, Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones and Pixels. Did you ever see Pixels?
I did. He plays like the super champion of Pac-Man or whatever.
I never did go see it. I think
I saw it when we went on the Disney cruise. It was on the TV for free.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right.
Why not?
So it was. I don't know. It wasn't good.
Yeah. You struggled to be nice, and then just went. It just wasn't good.
I would have loved it like when I was younger. Like if I had seen it when I was younger, and I was like, it would have been awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it was like. Because when I look back at all the crap I watched, that I was like, that was so amazing. Yeah. And I look at it now and I'm like, this is horrible.
This is not good.
Like everybody's smoking and there's no internet. Like, what's going on?
Why would I watch this? But yeah, I think we all wanted it to be good. It just didn't quite hit the mark.
Yeah.
So, and I may swing by Redbox and get it for $1 or something like that and watch it. But that's
look at you, even still investing. Unbelievable.
Well, it'll be forever till it comes on the streaming on Netflix.
That's true. Yeah.
I've figured out that pretty much anything that I want to watch, other than like Daredevil or something like that, it's never on streaming. So,
oh man, you guys stay with Jessica Jones, by the way.
I still haven't finished. I think I got to episode 6.
I'm up to the finale.
Oh, sweet.
And I'm about halfway through it. I fell asleep because I'm getting old. Because I took off my socks. I got comfy, and I just couldn't hold on. But it was amazing. So I'm going to rewatch that. I'm very excited. That show is, and they did a Daredevil crossover.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, wow.
But not with Daredevil. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. And just in case you think you need to smell like Justice,
What?
Denver deodorant.
Denver deodorant?
Yeah, that name right there is pretty funny. They have released 4 separate deodorant body sprays for Batman and Superman.
That must be smoke pellets, cave, funk.
This is where it gets really good.
What?
For Superman, there is Power. That's the name of it, Power. It's a grapefruit and orange tinged scent.
Ooh, citrus.
Because nothing says power like grapefruit and orange.
That's disgusting.
But wait, there's more. And the woodland inspired strength.
Batman smells like musk.
No, those two are Superman. Power and strength. For Batman, there is Night Warrior with hints of rosemary, cinnamon, juniper, and amber.
Smell like your closet where you don't want bugs to go. That's what that's. Oh, damn.
And the other one
that's
for
how
Batman.
You keep bugs out of the Batcave, folks.
Right. The other one for Batman is Legend, made up of fresh, spicy citrus.
Ooh, I love it. Tamarind. It's like a tamarind orange kind of thing.
Just odd. That's what that is.
That's how you always say Batman has like a fail-safe for the Justice League. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, spicy citrus.
Yep. It's like shark repellent, but it's
it's the bad shark repellent. That's what was in that giant can he had in his utility belt.
Why did he always have a giant can?
Because you had to have the label on it.
Oh, all right.
Because it had to have a big block letter label.
Couldn't have a little micro mister? No. All the sharks walking around. Don't tase me, bro.
Don't tase me, bro. And this actually, this one I'm really excited about. Turner Classic Movies will hold a superhero night on March 23rd from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. featuring the original live-action Batman serial, Batman the Bat's Cave, from 1943, with possibly the worst costume that you've ever seen.
Yeah, they don't fit the eyes and stuff.
Yeah, and they couldn't get the ears to stand up, so it's like it's like your mom sewed it, and the ears kept falling down. It was
because they probably needed metal for the war.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, of course, yeah. They couldn't use the wire.
Yeah, no ears, kid.
Yeah, it looked really, really bad. But it's still fun to watch and look back at. Okay, this is the first time Batman was ever on the screen,
and it almost leapt out of the comics, right? Because how many years had it been in print?
39 was when
4
he
years
debuted. Yeah, so
sweet.
And then also that night, Atom Man versus Superman. Superman flies again from 1950. They'll also have the Green Hornet, Flash Gordon, the Phantom, and Dick Tracy.
Cool.
So that actually, I'm really interested in watching those. Those should be a lot of fun.
That's very cool.
It doesn't say what Green Hornet. If it was one of the, I don't remember if there was a Green Hornet serial.
Bruce Lee, the Green Hornet.
If that's what they're talking about, the show, then yeah, it would be Bruce Lee as Kato.
Oh, it's Kato, right? Okay.
Or I don't know of a Green Hornet serial that was back in the 40s. So that would be the only thing I would think of. But it would be fun to watch the Flash Gordon serial.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, the Green... Oh, no, it's the movie based on the serial Green... yeah, it was radio before it was... So
it wasn't...
must be the movie.
Was it a movie serial?
No, it must be Green Hornet, 1940s serial. Yeah, it looks like all 13 chapters. I guess so. Cool.
So it's definitely something worth looking into and see. Check out some of the older versions of our superhero.
And thank our stars for how good they are now.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And
we got ears that stand.
Yeah,
we got budget for ears.
And this I just read this morning. This I think is pretty cool. President Obama's appointee to the Supreme Court, Merrick Garland, sold his comic book collection to help pay for law school.
Wow.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's interesting.
And actually, Obama worked it into his speech.
Oh, did he really? To say that was
Yeah.
part of his story?
He said he worked his way through school, clerking and working at different jobs, and a tough moment in any young man's life, selling their comic book collection. And he goes, been there, done that.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So I just thought that was a pretty cool little tidbit about our possible new Supreme Court justice.
Nice, yeah.
He's a nerd.
We'll see. Yeah. He might be blocked. We'll have to see. Yeah, but that's a cool little fact.
Yeah, it is. Well, let's. We've got our tidbits out of the way now. Let's transition right into our movie and TV news.
Meanwhile, back at the Cathedral of Wisdom, it's the movie and TV news on the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, first thing, and this is a pretty big deal. The X-Men Apocalypse final trailer came out. Did it come out yesterday?
I believe so. Yeah. Have you watched it?
Yes, and it's head and shoulders above the
first
other
one?
ones.
Oh, the first one was not very impressive to me.
Yeah, exactly.
You liked it, the first one. You were like hopeful.
I was hopeful, but I wasn't really blown away. This one now makes me want to see it.
Awesome.
So this makes me want to go and watch First Class and Days of Future Past so that I'll be ready for this one.
So good.
And that was the thing. I was a little underwhelmed with the last one. It was okay, not great, but this one is really good.
And knowing that Poe Dameron, the actor, is
Apocalypse.
That gave me some that I like because I think he's a great actor.
And I think I may be wrong, but I think they've worked on his voice because I remember being underwhelmed by his voice when you first heard it.
Yeah.
Seems like they've worked on it. They've added some layers to it to where it sounds a little more menacing.
It should have layers and sound demonic, but like digital demonic a little bit because he's got that weird alien tech.
It should be impressive.
Yeah.
Because he's Apocalypse.
Yeah.
For goodness sakes. But some of the image you saw of the Horsemen look, and not Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Ole and Tully, but the four Horsemen of Apocalypse. They looked really, really good.
Yeah.
This actually made me want to see
You're pumped.
it. I'm pumped, yeah.
What's the release date on that? May
27th.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This is the money year.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and plus now I've seen a non-superhero movie that I think I'm going to pay to go see. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart.
You would do that?
I would do that, yes.
Whoa.
It takes something.
Well, because
Central
it's The Rock.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps, but that looks really funny. I saw
Who's with him? Who's his
Kevin Hart.
Oh, Kevin.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah, that
And they're
was
like
really good.
they're like this tall. Yeah, it's like twins with Danny DeVito.
Exactly, yeah. He's like ginormous. So, but yeah, the thing is, The Rock's character in high school, he was fat and nobody liked him.
Oh, and he became the
Kevin
stud.
Hart was the big man on campus,
Oh.
and he helped him out. So he needs help. He now works for the CIA, and he needs his help. So
nice.
But the stuff that sells it from the trailer is he keeps going, all right, I got a plan. May end up us being killed, but if it works, we're going to have a really boss story. Cool? You in? And he's going, no, I'm not in. But he's, all right, let's go. No. But that's neither here nor there. That's Central Intelligence.
All right. Wow.
But
the show is evolving, friends.
Yeah, we
have some Kardashian news.
Oh, boy. No, we're not doing that. We took a little detour there, but X-Men Apocalypse looks... Why are you holding up the hand of doom?
Because it is the hand of doom. Kali Ma. Kali Ma, Shakti Day. All right, we're excited about X-Men Apocalypse, but we're really, really excited that they're getting the old man off the couch and back with the whip and the hat, right, on an adventure.
Yeah, it's still a ways away, but we will get a fifth Indiana Jones movie.
Well, there's enough time to recoup the money from 2016 by then.
Yeah, there you go.
So we'll be able to see it.
That's a way to look at it, yeah. And as long as Shia LaBeouf doesn't show up, that might help things.
That would totally run.
And George Lucas is not involved, so maybe there won't be any damn aliens in it.
Is that why because he got involved in the Crystal Skull?
I have no idea. I'm not sure if that's where that came from, but
that was so weird.
That whole movie was just so disappointing.
Bad.
It was
bad
so
Russians, like just everything bad. Like old man.
Boris and Natasha.
Yeah.
they were more convincing Russians.
Yeah.
But yeah, a fifth Indiana Jones movie has been announced for 2019 with both Harrison Ford, of course, as Indiana Jones, and Steven Spielberg directing.
All right, I hope this has like Raiders of the Lost Ark level.
And I think they realize they screwed something up. And
When did they get that memo?
I really do. I think they realized that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was not how they want to go out.
This is bad.
And that is why there's going to be another one.
I think I read some of the sort of novelettes, Indiana Jones novelettes, Expanded Universe. I don't know if you ever did, but there was one that they made into a game, that LucasArts made into a game, Fate of Atlantis.
Yes, I do remember.
Which was, I think, my favorite story. I mean, there's some other good ones. Some of those South American jungle stories, pyramid stories, a skull-like story that I think inspired Crystal Skull. But like the Fate of Atlantis was so cool because they unlock Atlantis and they find it. And it's with a U-boat, and it's like it seems kind of realistic for the indie world.
Yeah,
it'd be really cool if they did something like that.
Yeah.
If they went for it.
Yeah.
So,
but it's going to be interesting with Harrison Ford. He's 70 now.
Yeah.
That's going to be.
It wasn't really moving around in Force Awakens.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So I mean, it's going to be. Is it going to be another attempt to have a younger version of him and kind of pass the torch?
I really hope not.
That did not work well because we don't want to see a younger Indiana Jones, and we don't want to be constantly reminded how old he is.
Yeah,
that was another thing that I think they hammered just a little too much.
That he hurt and he couldn't do the same moves and stuff.
And he ended up with his ass in the windshield of a truck
because
he couldn't hit it. It's like I don't want that. I mean, just kind of change what you're doing a little bit. You can adjust it and not point out that he's a senior citizen now.
Well, maybe they'll create Oklahoma Smith,
there you go.
the up and coming graduate assistant.
I actually knew a guy who wanted to change his name to Montana Blue.
Ooh, interesting.
Sounds kind of cool.
It sounds like a cigarette brand.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a blues performer. That makes sense.
Yeah. No, he wasn't one. I said it sounded like one.
Oh, well, he should change his line of work.
He was just
to fit his name.
So, but yeah, that's coming in 2019. And speaking of Harrison Ford, one of his other iconic characters, Han Solo, will be shown as a younger character in the upcoming Star Wars anthology movie.
Cool.
The shortlist for the person to play the young Han Solo is finally down to the final three.
Ooh.
They are Taron Egerton from Kingsman: The Secret Service and Eddie the Eagle. I'm not sure whether he plays Eddie or not in Eddie the Eagle.
Okay, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm seeing him for the first time.
Taron Egerton. Yeah, exactly. I haven't seen either one of those. So
he's good looking. He could do it.
He's ruggedly handsome.
He's got muscles.
And
yeah, it came up. Taron Egerton 6-pack.
Oh,
that's what's the search term.
That's the suggestion.
Thank you.
Also, Alden Ehrenreich from Hail Caesar and Jack Rayner. I'm sorry, no, Jack Rayner's the third name. Alden Ehrenreich from Hail Caesar. Hail Caesar's the new one with
that funny movie,
the George Clooney.
Yeah,
where they kidnap him. Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
Yeah, right. He's the actor from back in the day. Yeah, he looks good too.
Okay, and then Jack Rayner, best known for roles in Transformers: Age of Extinction and What Richard Did. So obviously those aren't starring roles when it says best known for roles in.
Yeah,
he wasn't exactly.
Hi, I'm actor Troy McClure. You might remember me from such films as The Evening News. Okay, so Jack Raynor.
Yeah, okay, Ray Nor.
Oh, he looks good too.
Yeah. Well, they're not gonna.
He's blue-eyed. Is Han Solo blue-eyed?
No.
He's brown-eyed.
He's brown-eyed. Yeah.
All right. Well, he's blue-eyed, so they'll have to contact lens him.
It ruins everything.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a little frumpy, this one.
Supposedly, this is going to tell the origin story of the Han Solo Chewbacca duo. Yeah.
Nice.
So, but yeah, it's not. They're not exactly going to cast an Ugo to play Han Solo.
So the last one, Jack Rayner. Yep. He's a little hobbiton. He's best known for his roles in being a hobbit, sitting on the couch, And finishing the last Cheeto.
There you go. And from the "we really hope this works well" file, Wonder Woman writer Jason Fuchs has reportedly been tapped to work on the script for the upcoming Lobo movie
Awesome.
for DC Entertainment.
That's awesome.
It's always been rumored that's the idea has always been around, and they always say, yeah, we might be working on that. We might, but now I think with the success of an R-rated Deadpool,
Yeah, we
that
can do
was
a
very
Lobo.
tongue-in-cheek, almost kind of making fun of the superhero genre completely.
And was done for very little money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but Lobo would have to be in space.
Yeah, exactly. It'd have to
That'd
be
be
a
harder.
cosmic adventure.
Yeah. Cosmic adventure.
Yes. But it's one of those things that I would love to see because I love the character, the 90s character,
Right.
not the new 52 character.
Right.
So I would love to see it. And that's the thing. Anytime there's any talk of doing this, they're talking about the 90s character. Nobody's talking about doing anything with the new version.
Well, him in 52, would you say he's connected to the 90s version when he became the like cosmic priest with the dolphins?
Yes.
Okay.
That was still him.
'Cause he was still a jerk
fighting-
and-
yeah, he was
yeah.
still fighting himself.
And he made Starfire show her boobs.
Yes,
to-
yep, that's him. Yeah, that's what he does. I mean, and that's the thing. He started out as a straight villain, just as a bounty hunter, and then when Keith Giffen really started to dig into it, and he made it into kind of a joke about the ultra-violent characters like Wolverine and the Punisher and stuff like that.
Right.
He kind of made it a joke. I mean, Lobo wore a jacket that said "Bite Me, fanboy" on the back of it.
Yeah, right.
And so it kind of, and
He
there
served
was
as that. Yeah.
there was a special Lobo, I think it was called Lobo the Lobo Con special, where he went to a comic book convention.
In the comic.
Yes.
Wow.
And ended up killing everybody. So, he also took a contract on Santa Claus to kill Santa Claus. You know who hired him? The Easter Bunny.
Oh, Mrs. Claus. No, it's the Easter Bunny.
The Easter Bunny, exactly. And of course, Santa Claus was like all muscled up, and he had guns. He was like, "Are you going to take me on?"
Yeah.
I'm the Claus.
Yeah.
So it was.
I'm the man in red.
It was called Lobo's Paramilitary Christmas Special. It was really good.
Well, let's hope that happens.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah, that would be really a lot of fun. And speaking of other stuff that we really want to happen, the Tick might be on its way back to TV, as Amazon has ordered a pilot with creator Ben Edlund in the fold as writer and producer.
Nice.
Unfortunately, Patrick Warburton won't be able to play the big blue bug of justice, but he is an executive producer.
Oh, awesome.
They at first said he wouldn't be able to play the Tick,
The Tick.
because he's got the new show coming on NBC called Crowded.
Oh, so they wanted they didn't want his voice, which is really the character. Is that right? Or to conflict with the show, or what?
No, he wouldn't have time because
Oh, I see. Okay.
this is a live action, so he'd have to do both shows. But unfortunately, after watching Crowded, I don't know if it's going to be around for a while. So he may have time.
Yeah. It may show up.
He may show up.
Maybe he's just doing this like, all right, we'll get this Crowded thing over with.
And I think that may be part of it because he is attached as an executive producer, so he's there.
Right.
If something doesn't pan out with Crowded, which quite frankly, he's the only decent thing about that show. So
I haven't seen this. It's a network show?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it just came like a special preview just came on the other night, and I mean the concept actually is
Super things at all, or no?
no, it's a couple, him and one of I forget the actress's name. She was on True Blood. She was one of the waitresses that worked with Suki on True Blood.
Okay.
She plays his wife. They have two daughters who go to college. Then they end up moving back in. And then at the same time, his father and his wife, who were getting ready to move to Florida, they decide they're going to stay. So they're all there.
Damn.
But unfortunately, other than Patrick Warburton being Patrick Warburton, and like the way he delivers his lines and the way he can say stuff and just be funny saying that.
Yeah.
That's about all.
That's really
It's
good about
really
that
good
stuff.
about it,
Oh,
yeah.
It sounds like
The
it's too
kids
close to
are-
home. It's like millennial TV.
Well, and the thing is, the kids are stereotypical. There's the hot but really dumb one who wants to be an actress.
Okay.
And then the brainy one that's a scientist but has no social clue
Okay.
of what's going
Sounds
on.
like the Bundys.
And they're all
Bud and Kelly.
but Bud and Kelly were actually fleshed out characters. These are just like cardboard cutouts.
Oh.
It's just complete stereotypical stuff. And then you got his dad is played by Stacy Keach, who again, his delivery a lot of times is way more funny than what he's actually saying. But yeah, I don't. So he may be freed up.
We're devoting a lot of airtime to this
I
show
know.
that won't last long.
Basically,
We
yeah.
just extended it live by a whole episode.
Exactly. We gave it more time
Way to
than
go, Timmy
most of the reviews gave it. So,
But what about Arthur?
yeah, they have cast Griffin Newman as Arthur and Valerie Curry as Arthur's sister Dot.
Nice.
And I looked
They're
up.
hilarious.
I'd never heard of Griffin Newman, so I looked him up. He looks like Arthur. That was my first thought. I was like, oh yeah, okay,
That's going to work.
that could be Arthur.
Yeah.
No problem. And they never in the live action series. I don't think they ever introduced Dot, but
Was
she
it
was
cartoon?
she was in the cartoon.
Yeah, I remember because they lived together, didn't they?
No. She came over one time. She wanted him to stop being a superhero and go back to work as an accountant. So that was the Tick and her were constantly
At odds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to have her in the fold and see what other superheroes we get to see.
Deflator Mouse would be great.
Because but that's the thing. When they did live action before, there was a thing with Fox Kids where they couldn't use the name Deflator Mouse, so he became Batmanuel, who I think was really funny. It wasn't Deflator Mouse.
Oh, like Manuel, the name, but
Exactly.
he's
Yeah, he
Latino
was
Batman.
Hispanic.
Oh,
Yeah. But it was still a really good character, I felt like. And American Made, they couldn't do American Made, so they did Captain Liberty. Again,
Why
she
was
was.
that?
I mean, Batmanuel was different, a different character than Deflator Mouse. Captain Liberty was pretty
just like a
close
rip-off?
to
Oh,
American
man.
Made.
It's only with
but-
I remember He-Man, they couldn't do this. Like where Filmation had certain rights and
Yeah.
Mattel had other rights
Yeah,
to
and
certain
I
characters.
don't know if that's cleared up and they can use the names now, or but they could use the Human Bullet. I always loved him. His sidekick, Fire Me Boy. He would jump into cannon. Every time he had to go into battle, he jumped into a cannon and they fired him off. Fire Me Boy.
Well, I mean, there's
Then they
Bullet Man and Bullet Lady from Earth S.
There you go.
Remember them? Remember in Shazam's world?
They had the Cape Chameleon. But he was always
Invisible or
no, he was always thwarted by Plaid. He couldn't do Plaid. And my favorite, the Civic-Minded Six.
Civic-Minded Six?
Yes, they drove in a Civic. There was Mucilage Man, who fired glue out of his fingers. Feral Boy, who was just feral.
Oh, I remember him. Yeah.
The Carpeted Man.
Who was the sea anemone or the sea urchin?
That was Sewer Urchin.
Sewer urchin. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he was hilarious.
What about the guy with the fishbowl on his head? Who was like the fish in the fishbowl on the human body?
Oh, that was I forget his name. He was called the Fish Boy, Lost Prince of Atlantis, or something like that. There was a Punisher character
Oh, really?
called Big Shot,
Big Shot.
and he showed up as just like a ripoff of the Punisher, and then he went to therapy. And the next time he shows up, he's like, "Listen, I've been going to therapy. I used to always try to fix my problems with guns. Like every time he says guns, he's like,
He has to tense up. Did you know that there was a Tick Invincible crossover
no.
comic?
Oh, I need that.
Yep, 2012, Robert Kirkman, Invincible, and the Atom Eve.
Eve is his wife. She was a superhero.
So NEC Comics.
Yeah, NEC Comics that's the thing. New England Comics.
Well, that's what that is. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the electronics company.
It was a comic book store. They wanted a mascot. Edlin drew the Tick. And they were like, well, we should do a book. So they did a book, and that's how it started.
Oh, wow.
And now Ben Edlin works in Hollywood. He's all over the place. And it just started as they wanted a mascot.
Wow. I have a Tick action figure somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I have it at home somewhere. I'll bring that in for you so you can have it on your desk.
Oh, maybe they'll have El Cid. Do you
Who?
remember that from the cartoon? El Cid?
Is that the plant man?
Yes.
It looked like a sunflower?
Yes.
Oh, I remember him.
You big blue monkey.
Yeah. Well, who's the person who turned into the dinosaur?
That's
Like
Dinosaur Neil.
Dinosaur, yes.
Him and Dot ended up getting married.
Well, that's nice.
That's very nice.
That's special. Oh, man.
So, yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff that they could come up with for the Tick live action show.
Oh, man, it's like that and Freakazoid, I remember.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
that was
two-
really funny.
Yeah, the two things.
And Sylvester Stallone, we have now found out, will be playing one of Yondu's Ravagers in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh, nice.
I still don't think we know who Kurt Russell is.
No?
Maybe they're going to be two old Ravagers that are just hanging out.
Yeah, right.
That would be kind of cool. And we finally have confirmation for something that we've been talking about for a while. It's finally been made official now. Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill will reprise their roles as Batman and the Joker, respectively,
Awesome.
on the upcoming animated adaptation of Alan Moore and Brian Boland's graphic novel, Batman the Killing Joke.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hamill has tweeted out the first image from the movie 3 times, each time with a quote plus a single word together spelling out the killing joke. First was, all it takes is one bad day to reduce the sanest man alive to lunacy. Just one bad day. The second one was, remember, there's always madness. Madness is the emergency exit. And the third quote was, if I have to have a past, then I prefer it to be multiple choice. So, because he told this story of the whole thing with him being a comedian and trying to get his into with the Red Hood gang.
Yeah, right.
But then he admits that he may be remembering it wrong. It may not. And he says, if I have to have a past, I'd prefer it to be multiple choice. So that was the thing. It was like, okay, that might be his origin story. It might not. It's just like in Dark Knight with Heath Ledger. He told the story of how he got the scars like 4 different times, different each time.
Oh, so
Yeah. You're
yeah.
never quite sure.
It's ever evolving.
Yeah.
Hey, I just realized this really quick. Sorry, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize this, but Yondu is a bad guy in the
Yeah.
movie. But he's actually the leader of the Guardians in the comics.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, in the comics, Yondu is the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Huh.
Like, yeah, like he's straight up. Yeah, like there he is.
Yeah.
He has like a bow and arrow, and he's like a
Yeah.
fighter and stuff. Like that's why when I saw him in the film, I was like, why is he a bad guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the original Guardians. We're not
Yeah.
what they are now.
Yeah. Yeah. The original group was completely different.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, like here's a. Oh, I guess that's the Ravagers. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who it would be, who the Ravagers would be, like or who Kurt Russell would be.
Yeah.
If he was in that team. Because like Yondu is like the biggest one.
But he may be. That was just a guess with about the Ravagers. He may be playing like part of the Nova Corps.
He could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could be.
Nova Prime.
Yeah,
Well,
he
no.
could be. Well,
Who was it played Nova Prime?
that was a woman.
Yeah.
What was her name? Meryl Streep or Glenn Close?
Glenn Close.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, that's a
that's-
awful side tangent there, but
it went back to our.
here's the original. That's the original Guardians of the Galaxy. So you can see the only one. Yeah, Charlie. There's nobody from the original team in here at all. That's in the team that's now. I'm so sorry to bump you there. But yeah, you can see. So I wonder. It could be though that any one of these could be then brought in as a like Martinex, for example. He's like a big crystalline guy. That'd be a cool role. I mean, maybe. So anyway,
that would work.
Anyway, back to your radio show.
I'm sorry. Yeah, back to the Killing Joke. Tara Strong has been cast as Barbara Gordon / Batgirl, and Ray Wise will voice Commissioner Gordon. And it will premiere at this year's San Diego Comic-Con and will release in stores this summer.
Awesome.
So it's right there. Yeah.
More money to go away.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? This will be worth it.
Can I borrow your Blu-ray?
Yes.
After I've ripped it from your cold dead hands.
That's right. And the Flash and Aquaman movies that are coming later this decade. I think Flash is 18. No, Flash is 17, and Aquaman is 18.
Yes.
They will continue the story from the Justice League movie. They will not be origin movies.
Oh.
Which is
good.
I think
that picks it right up.
Yeah, I think they'll just kind of touch on, for the most part, everybody kind of knows the deal with Flash. Everybody kind of knows the deal with Aquaman.
Yeah.
Just go. We know.
Well, Marvel's had to do that with every character, give them an origin movie, roughly.
Yeah.
So
we're just going to skip that, and I think that's a way to kind of separate themselves from Marvel.
Well, DC has to get going. They're far behind in the movie world. They have to get rolling.
And it sets, like I said, it sets them apart because it's a different thing to just say, because Marvel is a lot of times falling into the same pattern.
Always.
With the same basic thing happening to create this superhero, and then DC's just going, hey, let's tell a good story. Everybody knows where Aquaman came from. Let's just go.
Well, it's like DC's good at, especially in the Crisis stories, introducing a character just for that issue. Like Pariah didn't exist, and then all of a sudden was a character, in the first Crisis. So it's like, I feel like that's a good strategy because it'll get them rolling, and then every movie can just be like a thing, and just that's another episode of the whole big grand scheme.
Story,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And this weekend is the debut of DC's Superhero High on Boomerang as part of their Superhero Girls line.
Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah.
It will feature young versions of Wonder Woman, Batgirl, Harley Quinn, Bumblebee, Starfire, plus the vice principal of the school is Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah, he wears a suit. Yeah.
Did nobody do like a background check or anything on him?
As long as he's fed, he behaves.
He'd be okay.
Yeah. I've seen this because they had mini-sodes online, and we watched a few in a row. They're just a couple minutes apiece.
Yeah.
And like Harley and Wonder Woman are roommates.
Yeah.
And like Harley's side of her room's all messy, and Diana's side is all pristine and nice and has like golden things.
Yeah.
But Harley's very acrobatic. They're kind of making her that way. And I've already bought a toy. I have one of the posable figures I got Addie for her birthday.
Yeah.
She's going to flip out. It comes with a giant hammer and stuff. And,
awesome.
But it's like it's all the other dolls, like the Monster High and the Ever After and stuff. They're getting into this. Yeah. So the DC Supergirls is like a great way.
That's cool
to do that. Yeah.
It's very cool. I think it should be good. At least at the very least a lot of fun.
It's lighthearted. It's not goofy fun like Teen Titans. It's more, I don't know if you watched like My Little Pony lately.
No.
They like solve magical problems and stuff, and that's all.
Yeah. But it's a way to get the characters out there again. Yeah. And showcase the female characters.
And we're gonna have a new Earth for them.
That's true. Yeah. We'll have to have another alternate universe. So.
Earth H for high school.
There you go. See?
Yeah, every hero's in high school.
And Robert Kirkland's new series Outcast hasn't even premiered yet on Cinemax, but it's already been renewed for season 2.
Is this Kirkman or Kirkland?
Kirkman.
It's Robert Kirkman.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry. Yeah, that was a typo. It's the extremely probably the busiest man in comics now. The series follows Kyle Barnes, whose loved ones have been involved in demonic possession ever since his childhood.
It's a good business.
Yes, yeah. Business is good.
It pays.
However, as an adult, he seeks answers and tries to unveil what lies behind the supernatural manifestations with the help of a reverend. Kirkman is now writing several comic series and is involved with The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, Outcast, the Transformers franchise, and several video games. Jeez.
Yeah.
And now that's why I don't only get like 6 issues of Invincible a year. We had this really great issue in December, and it gave you a gigantic cliffhanger of what's going to happen, and it was like, all right, see you in April.
Oh Lord.
That hurts. Come
Damn.
on.
Well, he's giving you Walking Dead in between.
It's true.
Comics
exactly,
and TV show.
Yeah.
So
And the Walking Dead has been, and they're proud of this fact, and it's only in independent comics are you proud of the fact, hey, we've been on time every month. And this is a very interesting story. Comic-Con International, the people who put on the San Diego Comic-Con,
yeah.
and Lionsgate have announced a new streaming service
Oh.
called Comic-Con HQ.
Oh my God, what is
The
this?
new service will include daily and weekly programs centered around all things entertainment, scripted and unscripted series, and live stream programming direct from Comic-Con, including some panels.
Holy wow.
They also plan to license TV and film to stream on the channel. It launches May 7th with a free beta before an official launch in June, when the paid subscription will be available.
Wow, I'd love to know how much this is. That's immediately
that's
I'd like
the
to know.
biggest thing for me is
It can't be more than $5 a month.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if it is, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, that's your price point right there.
That's right.
To get people to do it. And what's the content going to be? Because it's going to be,
Yeah.
it's great. Okay, you've got live streaming stuff from Comic-Con. That's 1 week a year.
Right, and that's it. And I don't care unless it's all of the Comic-Con international properties, like Long Beach Comic-Con
Yes,
and,
they may do that
and
as
whatever
well,
else.
yeah.
LA, they own a few,
the
right?
WonderCon they just did.
WonderCon, yeah, exactly. So it could be that's all great.
But
And-
with Lionsgate, that opens up a lot, I would
yeah,
believe.
what properties are they involved in?
Lionsgate has distributed, I don't know exactly what.
But if it's all right, so Netflix is what, $11, $12 a month now with like the
Yeah.
for the
something
super
like that.
version to get more than 3 set-top boxes. But then Hulu is $3.99, I think, a month or so, or $5.
Yeah.
So it's like it can't be more than that.
Yeah.
Because if it is,
It's true, yeah.
There's no way.
It's true. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, Lionsgate's top 10 grossing movies wouldn't really fit.
Yeah.
So
Lionsgate does
know.
science fiction and stuff sometimes, and
Yeah.
action, right?
yeah, well, it's Gods and Monsters, and
Okay.
yeah, nothing that's really gonna Total Recall, maybe.
Sorry. Lionsgate does Leapfrog as well. Because I remember going like, look at this epic like production bumper before this cartoon about numbers and letters.
Yeah,
Wow. You know.
and The Hunger Games.
Yay. Mockingjay. All right, we'll see how that
We'll
goes.
do all the mocking around here, but it'll be interesting that when we get more information on that, that will be the price point and what they're going to have on there.
I'd try the beta.
Yeah.
I'd love to
Oh,
see
yeah,
how we can
absolutely.
get involved in that. That'd
Yeah.
be cool.
And it's going to May 7th is right around Free Comic Book Day,
Oh, perfect.
so I think it is Free Comic Book Day.
It might be, yes.
Yeah. And Daredevil Season 2 releases tomorrow.
And we got some teasers this week and featurettes
Yes.
and stuff, right, with some real fighting.
Yeah, the featurette.
Well, the Punisher one, did you see the John
Yes.
Barrett? It's like the whole thing was about him.
Yeah, I just love the fact that he's sitting there doing an interview, and he's got like a cut on his cheek, like he's still in makeup from some fight scene they had or something like that. Yeah, it was great. Showed a lot of really good footage. We still haven't seen him in the complete Punisher,
No,
like the skull and everything.
But we saw the skull like picture, like somebody had a
Yeah, that
picture of it or
X-ray,
something,
yeah.
or an X-ray.
Yeah,
But it's cool to hear John Barenthal talk over the footage and
Yeah.
sort of say like, I was really passionate about this character, and like
he really dove in. For the longest time, he would tweet out pictures of himself going to local comic
Stores,
books,
right? Yeah.
getting stuff to read to dive into the character. He tweeted out an image of himself in full Punisher gear, firing a ginormous gun. Said, yeah, this is going to be, and I love the stuff we saw in the featurette of him sitting there. He ties up or he chains up Daredevil.
Yeah, it's like a chimney.
Yeah, and he sits there and talks to him, and tries to let him know, listen, we're the same, just separated by one bad day.
Yeah, he's like, you punched or you hit the guys and they fall down and they get back up. Yeah, I knock them down and they stay down.
Yeah,
yeah.
That
was a great line.
It's a different approach to everything, and it's something that
it'd be interesting to have the Elektra in there because she's going to be a real influence on him too. Because she seems to be his love, but
the final trailer, though, you see her. She says, "I love you, but if you get in my way, I'll kill you too." It's like, whoa!
Damn, I missed that part.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, it was pretty harsh.
Damn.
So, and from also the Netflix verse, if you want to call it that, Luke Cage will debut on September 30th. And Joe Quesada, I guess he's
Marvel
publisher. I'm not sure
chief,
if
is he chief something? Chief creative?
CEO, maybe.
Maybe. All right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's like the head dude. He says that Iron Fist is a lot different than the other Netflix verse shows.
Really?
So, I mean, they have all had a real dark bend to them. Maybe this one will be a little lighter.
I mean, there's a part where, sorry, spoiler, there's a part where Luke Cage is in his bar, and Jessica can see him through the window. He's cleaning up, and the bar is bombed and explodes.
Oh, God.
And everything blows out. It's a huge explosion.
Yeah.
And he just walks out.
Wow.
And his clothes are on fire, and that's it.
Wow.
And Jessica puts him out.
Yikes.
And he's like, let's go get him.
Cool.
I mean, it's a good show.
Yeah, and they've all had that noir,
totally
real dark bend to them. So maybe.
So will Luke Cage be like Jessica Jones, and then Iron Fist will not? Is that what you're saying here?
Yeah,
or?
yeah. Iron Fist is going to be different.
Okay, but then
what
Luke Cage
Quesada's saying.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and Finn Jones from Game of Thrones has been cast as Danny Rand / Iron Fist.
Oh, I gotta
he
see.
Was. I looked at the picture. I remember him. I remember his character.
Oh boy, yeah, wow. He was a controversial character in Game of Thrones.
He was one of the gay characters, right?
He was a Baratheon.
He was a Baratheon. That was right. He was. Was it Robert's cousin?
Or was he Tyrell? He might have been a Tyrell. Yeah, he was a Loras Tyrell.
Okay.
Or was it Renly Baratheon? I forget. Renly Baratheon.
Okay, and that was the king's brother?
No, he was like the king's nephew.
Okay.
I think, but he was gay.
Yeah.
Which, like, what's her name? Cersei got him in trouble, so.
Yes.
About being, yes.
Yeah,
wow.
I remember
so he's going to be Iron Fist?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. That just got tweeted out. They tweeted out a picture of like a phone message thing, and it said scribbled on it was, "Who is Danny Rand?" And it had a link to an announcement that Finn Jones had been cast as Danny Rand.
Oh wow. So yeah, he's Loras Tyrell. That's who he is. Yeah, the Baratheon guy's a different dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's this is all really looking up these. They're doing these series so well.
They really getting great actors, especially from other great hits.
Yeah.
Wow.
And from elsewhere in the Marvel universe, apparently in the Civil War trailer. Actually, I don't think it was in the trailer. I think it was in the stuff that they showed on the Kids' Choice Award.
Oh, okay.
In the background, you can see a shot of Bucky with his cybernetic arm pulled off. Oh. Apparently, or presumably, by Iron Man.
Whoa.
Because Cap and Iron Man are fighting, and you can see behind Cap, Bucky's laying there, and his arm has been,
Ooh.
So,
damn.
This is going to be pretty intense.
Wow. I can't wait to see this movie.
This is going to be really, really good.
Wow. So just in the next next 6 weeks, we've got Dawn of Justice, Civil War, and Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Right?
That's just the movies. And Daredevil's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah. And then any other shows? Anything new that's coming out? Or no, everything's
Next week,
end.
they all come back from their hiatus.
Yeah.
And we'll get the Flash on Supergirl.
Right. Yeah, the crossover.
Yeah.
I've been seeing some promo photos for that.
Yeah, they're releasing photos, and they had one teaser of basically the two of them showing up in the same alley.
Yeah.
But that's all we've seen. So.
And then I've seen like where her logo spins and Flash runs
and
around
he's running
it.
around it. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
And there was a rumor running around that Beetlejuice 2 is in development. That even at one point somebody said Tim Burton confirms that Beetlejuice 2 is in development.
Dang.
Then he came out and went, no, it's not. So he squashed all that right
Well, this is
there.
how you get it spurred, you know.
Yeah.
You
Well, that's true. Also, yeah, and it may just be a play to where, with such demand, maybe we should do it.
Yeah.
And maybe that might be
That's how you
what's
get their
going
attention.
on.
Come on, Timmy.
Yeah, maybe.
Come on, Timmy B.
And Preacher will premiere another Robert Kirkman.
Yeah.
No, that's
not Preacher.
That's not him. No, that's not him.
Who is
No.
Preacher?
Preacher was Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon.
Oh, okay.
It was a Vertigo series.
Right.
Yeah, so never mind. Just because it's on AMC doesn't mean it's Robert
AMC
Kirkman.
and comic book. Yeah. Automatic.
Preacher will premiere on AMC following the mid-season finale of Fear the Walking Dead on May 22nd.
That's coming back really soon. Fear of the Walking Dead.
It's back now.
Is it? Did
it's
it
back on.
start already? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I haven't watched it, but
Yeah, I haven't either.
It's based on the Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon Vertigo series about a Texas preacher, Jesse Custer, who became possessed by a heavenly entity. Custer decides to hold God, who has gone missing, accountable for everything he's allowed to happen, and sets off to search for the missing deity with his girlfriend Tulip and vampire best friend Cassidy.
It's good to have a vampire best friend.
Always, I think so. But that's coming May 22nd.
Yeah.
Now to The Walking Dead.
Holy wow.
Yeah, holy wow. That's the best way to describe it.
What an episode.
This week's episode was crazy intense. And to follow up another one that was crazy intense with their attack on the Negan outpost.
Oh, the previous episode.
The previous episode.
Yeah.
And
Which was the whole squad being brutal.
And that's the thing. After these two episodes, Alicia Witt's character, Paula, she tells, I think it's Carol. Yeah. She tells Carol, you guys aren't the good guy. And quite frankly, I agree. If you think about, we know a little more because we know the story, what's coming, and if you know the comic,
yeah.
You know this is an extremely brutal group led by an extremely brutal man.
Negan.
But just take that all out of there and just, what have we been shown on the show?
They're supposed to be so bad, but
we haven't
Alexandria.
actually seen that.
No.
We haven't yet. We've been told by Gregory and his group that they've done stuff.
Well, Negan's group on the road before Daryl hit him with the RPG.
Yeah.
I mean, they were pretty tough and pretty.
They were tough, but they didn't do anything really.
But they were about to. I mean, they had guns. So it wasn't like, and they were on bikes and they had all that look. About them.
But they've now attacked and brutally murdered in their sleep. How many people?
Probably a dozen.
20.
Oh, maybe 20. Yeah, and that whole big group.
And then all those people that kidnapped Carol and Maggie.
Oh, they're all dead
are now gone.
Yeah, that woman and I forget what her name was.
Paula was the main one.
Yeah.
Alicia Witt was playing.
Who's the old lady?
The old lady
smoking and
she wasn't going
coughing.
to last long anyway.
Nah.
And then the
younger woman with the brown hair.
Younger woman, and then the guy who was hurt.
Yeah.
Who was shot by Carol. Yes, they're all gone, and they're now they have become
the killers.
The killers.
Yeah, like totally.
Yeah.
So to sort of set up the scene here, last episode, the team, Rick led, Glenn and a few other people, Daryl, on a big raid. They went in and basically murdered everybody in the space. Mm-hmm. They came out, and then one guy sort of broke out of a garage on Daryl's bike, and then they took him down. and then over the radio, and then we learned later that this group that kidnapped
watching.
Carol and Maggie had them captive, and then now they were doing a standoff.
Yeah.
So it was the crew who originally murdered everybody was waiting outside trying to do a trade of Carol and Maggie for whatever guy they had, who they picked up off the bike, and then Carol and Maggie basically. Well, it's really Carol who plays this incredible emotional game, psychological game.
But was that? I don't think it was a game.
You think she really had it? It was just
I think she really had, because you think about it, she gave Paula so many chances to get out of there, and she keeps trying to get Maggie out of there because she sees Maggie as a mother. She's going to be a mother, and now I think that's triggered something in her. And so I think they almost flipped positions there to where Maggie
was this cold, calculated
killer and like beat somebody to death.
Oh, God, I know. That was crazy.
Yeah. And
she got a slice on the belly, which was scary.
Oh, and but see, that was the one time that Carol was just straight out brutal.
Yeah, she just
because she
went after the baby.
Went after the baby. She stepped up, laid the gun to the lady's head, and just boom, gone.
Boom. I mean, I couldn't.
But see, that's the thing. That's one thing she will not allow, because that baby to her is sacred.
Well, when Daryl grabbed up on her and said, "Are you okay?" She said, "No."
No.
Yeah. She said, no.
I think she actually has had some type of
crack. Yeah.
Crack or a breakthrough or something. But yeah, she was trying to diffuse the entire situation. And that's not usually her. She's usually the one that's like.
I thought it was a big play. I mean, because
I thought it was too at first.
Well, because
the whole hyperventilation thing. She just wanted to get the rosary and sharpen the crucifix so she could use that to get out of the tape.
I mean, that seemed like a pretty.
Yeah.
But it was very elaborate what she did. She didn't have to do all that to get them to think that she was weaker or whatever. She could have just act weak and don't hit me,
Yeah.
But Carol went above and beyond to get them to think that she was really just what'd they call her, like a meek little mouse or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that where she was just, they all thought she was just a wimp, but then she stabbed everybody.
Yeah.
Or shot them.
Or shot them, yeah.
Which was wicked. Holy wow.
And I think they're really, they're ramping up the way the group is acting and making it more brutal. So when Negan's group comes in and he does what he does when he comes in, whoever that is, that gets it.
Yep.
Somebody's going to die. But when that happens, you as a audience member, you have to stop and ask yourself, okay, is that any worse than what they've done?
Than what they've just done, yeah.
And I think that's what they're doing there, is setting that up to go, okay, yeah, here's Negan. He's a really nasty dude.
Right.
But you know what? The hands aren't
So is
clean
Rick.
over here.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We unfortunately we did not get a scene this week of him going, what after he killed somebody. Which I was hoping for 3 in a row. That would have been good.
Yeah.
And no punching a walker head.
No.
So.
I think we need that every other episode.
So.
And that would be really great.
And Lenny James, who plays Morgan, says that Negan's finale introduction is phenomenal. And Steven Yeun, who plays Glenn,
who's supposed to be killed by Negan, right?
Says his entrance is great. So either he's one hell of a team player, or they're changing up the story to deviate from the comics.
Well, when they started to say, like, we are all Negan, I was like, is this where they're going with it? Like,
no,
I am...
it's a real
guy.
Yeah, he's been cast.
Okay.
So
it's going to be a person.
Yeah, I think they're saying they're all of the same mind, and they're all the same person. Yeah. He's just...
We are Legion.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, if either they're changing things up or
Glenn's going to get to axe to the face.
And that was a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire called Lucille.
Damn.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. So, and other TV news, the CW renews all of their shows.
Awesome.
That was actually, I think, was a completely unprecedented move for a network to renew everything.
I can't believe
and not cancel anything.
I mean, there's got to be a low-hanging fruit somewhere, but all the shows are still good.
They've renewed everything.
But iZombie? Really?
That, of course, I've never watched that, but that includes, of course, Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and iZombie. And from Fox, Gotham has been renewed for season 3.
Okay.
So
you still watching that?
I haven't watched it since it started back up. I need to. It's on the DVR. I just have to find time to do it.
Okay.
So,
you find it.
I will.
Go on.
It's
an
there
adventure.
somewhere.
Yes. To discover a way to find. Yeah.
And
that's great news.
Legends of Tomorrow, last season. I mean, not last season. Last week, because the new. No, it's not on tonight. I think
No, it's next week.
It's next week when
Pushed
it
it
comes
out.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything's off on hiatus.
Yeah.
Did you hear the reference to the torture hall?
Yes. Hall H.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah,
I didn't
good-
catch
good
it
nod.
at first, but yeah, the restricted area in the hospital where he did the
Yeah,
nefarious
the
stuff
experiments.
was
Yeah.
called Hall H, which is the main hall for the San Diego Comic-Con, where they have the best panels.
The best panels.
It's hardest to get into.
But we were
It's also the funkiest.
all
those
the
people
nerd
jamming in
Roma.
it,
Yeah, the citrus, tangy citrus,
Spicy citrus.
spicy citrus. So this time we went to, what was it, the 50s?
Yes, 1958, I think.
And it was interesting because like Shara and Ray, was it, tried
Yes.
to come off as a couple, but because
Yeah.
she has dark skin, everybody was like, what are you doing with this
Yeah.
lady of color?
Exactly, yeah.
And it was all those sort of 50s, racism things and all that craziness and everything. And we were just in a completely different time, but now we see a Savage who doesn't quite, like, what was your read on him? Did he quite recognize them, or did he?
He didn't recognize the rest of them. He, of course, recognized her.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think, because I don't think he's seen most of them. He's seen Rip Hunter
Throughout
back
time.
in Ancient.
Yeah. Because
I think because he went, yeah, Rip Hunter went very far back in time to try to get him. And when that didn't work, that's when he got the team together. But I think
yeah.
other than her, I don't think he recognized anybody.
Okay.
And we still haven't, as far as I'm concerned, we still haven't resolved, where's Mick?
Yeah.
Is he dead?
Yeah.
And if he's not dead, where did they leave him? Because you just saw like a
Snart just smack him, right?
Yeah, and it was like out in the woods somewhere.
Where was
Where
that?
and when?
Was that Russia back in the 70s? Because wasn't that when they left him there, or what time frame was it?
Yeah.
Well, no, it was after the future of Central City. Remember, he wanted to be that big crime boss or whatever.
Was it the same time, and they just took him out in the middle of, and like I said, did he kill him? I don't necessarily think he did.
Nah, I don't think he killed him. I mean, I bet they probably put him in like a funny place or something where he can't really do harm.
Maybe.
Or that would be like a perfect, like with cavemen or something.
Yeah.
I wonder if they did something crazy like that.
But if they take him into the past, could he disrupt things?
Maybe there's more little Micks running around, more generations of
I don't know.
of Mick the flamethrower.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, they released a sizzle reel for the remaining episodes.
Oh, cool.
But it wasn't any new footage. It was all old.
Oh, okay.
But they did include him,
So
which was kind of weird.
He'll come back.
So I think he will come back, and there's going to be, I mean, he of course is going to have an issue with Snart, but well,
Snart's starting to become like a reliable team member.
Yeah.
So, and we're not looking at him so much anymore, going, "Wow, he's a criminal,"
Yeah.
So it'll be that he'll come back in and he'll be pulled maybe back into that little world.
Yeah. Or he's going to want to kill him.
I hope there's like a big heist or a big something that goes down that those two have to take on
and use their
skills.
specific skill set. Yeah.
Exactly, to accomplish whatever goal it is and stuff. But did they say where we're going next? I guess what's coming up in the next up episode?
I'm not sure what is coming up next for them.
Ray Palmer was a badass in that episode.
Yes.
When he shrunk under the door.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And got the knife, and then when he blasted just before Savage was about to kill Shara, I mean, like he just bam,
He
like
just nailed him. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Okay, so the next one that airs will be March 31st.
Okay. That's
So
next
we'll be-
Thursday.
No, that will be the
That's
next.
2 Thursdays?
Yes, next Thursday is
Oh,
the
it's
24th.
24th.
So
So
it'll
we're
be
off.
the next. And it's called Left Behind. Ray, Sarah, and Kendra are stranded in the 50s after the Wave Rider
Right.
leaves. Oh, that's right. They did
took
leave
off
them.
at the very end. Yeah, they were running up to the Wave Rider. Because who took it over? What was it at the end? Did Savage take it over?
Or was it Kronos?
It was Kronos. Because
Yeah.
Kronos found them. And then he
I want to know who's under the mask of Kronos. You think it's going to be somebody we know?
could
That could be interesting.
Yeah, or it could be a whole new character.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Kronos, the bad guy, right? Was he a rogue? Kronos.
Don't
Let's
know.
see. Crisis. JLA.
Oh, this could be interesting. I just noticed in the
Yeah, he was a crime champion. He had a really stupid costume. Oh boy. David Clinton, the arch enemy of the Atom.
Oh, okay. The Golden Age?
This is pre-Crisis.
Okay.
Yeah, the Atom number 3 from 62. So he's a Silver Age.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's Ray's.
Yeah, this is the
villain.
pre-Crisis one.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, there's one in Crisis here. Let's see. Kronos. No, actually, yeah, he was a long time ago. He was in the second. He was in the first JLA JSA crossover.
Okay.
Where he fought, where it was Kronos, Dr. Alchemy, Felix Faust, the Fiddler, the Icicle, and the Wizard, who had discovered a way to get between the two worlds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this the description for Left Behind, the next episode, like I said, Ray, Sarah, and Kendra are stranded in the 50s, and then Sarah goes back to the League of Assassins. So this should be when we get Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, the classic Ra's. Yeah, right.
Yep.
They said that that guy was coming back to play him again.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
That should be fun. But that's 2 weeks away.
Nice.
This week on Supergirl, we got Red Kryptonite,
yeah.
and that made Kara go all mean girl.
She was super mean girl.
Yeah, it was. It actually, I think it was one of the best acted episodes.
Especially when she put on the black suit.
Yeah,
And she was like acting like a Fort Ra's Kryptonian.
Yeah, she was all. I mean, and it was the way she was delivering the lines, and then she had to deal with the consequences, and you saw the emotional.
Oh man, I can't believe. Yeah, right. She was crying. I mean, especially sitting with Kat when she had to go apologize to Kat.
Yeah,
that was a tough scene.
Yeah, and it says. I mean, that's kind of an old school comic book trope. They get turned. They do something evil. It's over, and then, oh, okay, cool. Everything's back to normal. We're good.
No,
but this dealt
lasting.
with the issues that would come from that, and they're going to continue to do that because she has to win back National City because they're afraid of her.
Well, Kat put out that statement,
Yeah.
because she almost dropped her off the thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe though when Hank outed himself and then DEO took him up.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That I mean, and when I was watching it with my family, and I kind of made the point, like, listen, he's only going because he wants to. If he didn't, he knows that this needs to happen because he's more powerful than her. He's stronger. He can.
He's experienced.
He can phase through. So.
Right.
He is more powerful than Supergirl. He's allowing himself to go. What I think would have been funny is, when they do the whole hand on the glass thing, if he would have just phased through and like held her hand and then winked at her, I thought that would have been funny.
Great. Yeah. Right.
But you get that. He gives her the wink, like when he was in full John Jones. He winked at her, and then he changed back to him, and then he put his hands on behind his head. He has become like their father figure.
Yeah,
he
now
he
now they're on their own.
sacrificed that to save them.
Right, so they could blast her with that anti-kryptonite gun, whatever that was.
Yeah.
Did Maxwell Lord make that?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he made right. He created the red kryptonite, but he made it right by giving them a way to fix it. And lip gloss equals evil.
Yeah.
Because when she was evil, she had on the lip gloss.
Yes, shiny lips.
You get chapped lips.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, right.
When you're
Evil
evil.
is chapping. But I thought that Red Kryptonite lasted only 24 hours. I mean, this clearly deviated. It was a lot longer.
Yeah.
It was a few days.
Yeah, so this was a different story. It was synthetic.
Oh, okay.
So it was
that bad stuff.
And it was
the meth of kryptonite.
Did you catch the bar scene that was lifted straight from Superman 3 when he was affected by the synthetic kryptonite and it was acting weird? Where she's in the bar and she pours out the trail mix and then she starts thumping the peanuts and breaking the bottles. That is exactly shot for shot.
Oh man, I missed that.
From Superman 3.
Oh
yeah. The only thing
I've been watching
is, in Superman 3, he used his he looked up and he saw himself in the mirror and then he used his heat vision to melt the mirror. She didn't do that, but she pours out the peanuts on the bar and then she starts thumping them and hitting the bottles, and he did exactly that in Superman 3.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I watch the show now with my daughter, who is like, Daddy, why is Supergirl so mean? It's like, honey,
so you missed some stuff.
Yeah, trying to get that part. Yeah. Daddy don't have DVR. Okay. Yeah. I just have KID.
Yeah. Yeah, but she also got Shiobon fired. Siobhan, is it?
Siobhan. What? Siobhan.
It's phonetically.
It's
Siobhan is fired. So Wynn is now out of his little relationship, I guess.
Yes, I know. She blocked him.
Yeah.
They were getting on in the copy room.
It sets up her becoming Silver Banshee.
Oh, is that who becomes?
Yes. Yeah, she becomes Silver Banshee. Siobhan, exactly. That's when she's going to change her name to Siobhan. So
the Silver Banshee.
The Silver Banshee. See? It works. Silver Banshee Siobhan. Come on.
Let's move on.
You know that's right.
Let's move. It's not right.
It is right.
Siobhan.
They have said that there will be a race on the Flash crossover episode.
Oh, which is the world's finest
classic,
cover. Yeah, which we got the preview.
And next week, Eddie McClintock will play Colonel James Harper, who in the comics was the Guardian.
Huh.
And he goes all the way back to Golden Age. He was created by Jack Kirby and Joe Simon.
He's the Shield dude
Shield,
with that golden helmet.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Who has the big giant fist.
Of course, he's Jack Kirby.
He's foreshortened, yeah.
He's always got giant fists. So that it'll be interesting. For the longest time, when people were trying to figure out who Diggle was going to be, there was a lot of people who said he would end up being Guardian.
But he's Magna Diggle.
Diggle, exactly. Yeah. And he actually, when he was on the Flash, he told Cisco that he needed some work done on the helmet. So maybe we'll get a different helmet.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
It's going to be modded out with some crazy target scanner or something.
That would be awesome.
That'd be great.
He'd look all RoboCop.
Yeah, or if it did heat vision or something and allowed him to see, it would give him a little edge. So.
That would be cool. Yeah. And Cisco can do it. So.
Yeah, he can.
But that is our movie and a very long movie and TV news segment.
That was a good week. And there wasn't even a lot of shows on this week.
Yeah. We'd have been really in trouble.
Well, next week's going to be a stomper.
Yeah, when everything comes back. So, but that does our movie and TV news. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to spin the comic rack.
Our hailing frequencies are always open. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just search Ninja Troll Digicast, or drop us an email at ninjatroll@digitaltuxedo.com.
Man, do I love card night. You ready, boys? You got a king?
Go, fish dad!
Oh, come on! This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Meanwhile, back at the Cathedral of Wisdom, it's time for the comic rack. Hey, nice rack.
Knock it off, perv.
No, it's the latest news from the enormous world of comics. Right here on the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, first up in our comic rack, Marvel has released 3 new teaser images, actually a 4th one as well, for Civil War II. One featuring Old Man Logan, the time-displaced Wolverine who comes from a future where Mysterio tricked him into murdering the X-Men.
Mysterio?
Yes. have you read the Old Man Logan?
No,
Story?
I've heard only about it.
You should pick it
good?
up because it just starts. He's retired and he's not going to do it anymore. And
Is it out of continuity?
Yeah, it was part of the regular series, but it was completely out of continuity.
Okay.
And they don't, for like a couple of issues, they don't tell you why he's so adamant that he will not fight anymore. And like the one time he does, he's forced into it, and he like, I'm sorry, Gene, I told you, I promised I would never do that. And it comes out that Mysterio convinced him that the other X-Men were enemies. And so he kills everybody in a room, and then the illusion goes away, and he's like, holy crap, he killed all the X-Men.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's pretty
Whoa, that's cool. All right, I'll try it.
Yeah, but it's a really good series. And
cool.
It's like a post-apocalyptic world where villains now control different parts of the United States.
Oh.
So you have like the Magneto States of America or whatever he calls it, and then Mr. Sinister has an area.
So the bigger baddies. Yeah,
the Hulk is actually a warlord. And he's over the area that Wolverine lives in.
Oh.
But he's out in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a really good story. But now he's somehow, because of Secret Wars, he's dropped into the continuity now. He's like walking around.
All right.
So Wolverine's dead, but now we got this old dude.
Yeah.
Who's Wolverine. Now see, with the second image that came out was for She-Hulk, who is the leader of A-Force. The third featured Spider-Man, who played a huge part in the first Civil War. And the fourth one they released was Deadpool, who is basically picking both sides. He's trying to ingratiate himself with both sides.
Nice.
In Civil War II, a new Marvel character comes to the attention of the world that has the power to calculate the outcome of future events. Captain Marvel leads the charge to use the character's power to preemptively profile criminals and prevent crimes before they happen. The cover of Civil War II #1 suggests that She-Hulk sides with Captain Marvel, and interior art shown in a preview suggests the X-Men do as well. Iron Man will fight for the idea that crimes cannot be punished unless they actually occur, and if the first issue cover is to be believed, he'll have at least one Captain America by his side, Sam Wilson.
Yeah. And then Steve Rogers will most likely join the Captain Marvel side, perhaps.
I don't know. I mean, do you think Cap would side with somebody who would say, "Well, you haven't committed this crime yet, but we're going to punish you for it"?
No, right? Because he would go for Constitution to be innocent.
Exactly.
Until guilty.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Until you actually do something.
Well, this is just like a Minority Report. That's exactly what this is, but with a war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they haven't named this new character, so I don't know if it's going to be a completely fresh new character or whether it's
that'd be cool,
an older one with like a new power or something like that.
Right, dead set on reclaiming something.
Yeah,
maybe it's like the Beyonder.
It did say a new Marvel character.
Oh. So then we'll get somebody new.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, so but that starts on the conflict starts on Free Comic Book Day. Yeah, the first one's free. Then you got to pay for all the rest of them.
Yeah, there's the conflict.
Now, in the latest issue of Savage Dragon number 212, Malcolm Dragon faces off against a family of demonoids while his wife Maxine prepares for the birth of his child, which could be a momentous event in the series in more ways than one. Anytime there's a birth to one of the main characters, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
But Savage Dragon unfolds in real time. So it started with Malcolm's father as the original Savage Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and Malcolm was born 18 years ago in the series.
Whoa.
So now he's 18 years old. He's the main character of the series. So this may be the future lead of this series.
Wow.
Savage
Dragon, what a series to have such a history and like a legacy.
It does, yeah. And I never really thought about it, but yeah, it does completely unfold in real time.
That's amazing because no comic ever does that.
No. So yeah, and that is why you've had one Superman for 75 plus years.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So and he's dodged all those issues. So
Cool.
it's been really interesting. We were talking about it before we started the show. There was some story like this. It was before it had crossed 200. We did a story on something that was going to happen in Savage Dragon, so I thought, I'm going to pick that up and read it. And I've now gotten into it. I've never read Savage Dragon before, like a year or so ago.
Bought the first 10 issues, just to collect them.
Yeah, I've gotten into it. It's really well done storytelling. Eric Larson he's a little stylized, a little more cartoony in some ways that I usually like.
He's back drawing and writing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he always has been. He
never
left.
stepped off?
No, he's never left.
Oh, jeez.
So for 212 issues, he's been doing the series.
Wow.
It's crazy. And because Marvel and DC can't stop rebooting series all the time, and because Action Comics and Detective Comics haven't returned to their original numbering yet,
this is
Savage
the
Dragon
running.
is one of, I think Spawn is long, I think they're past 250.
Wow.
In issues. But Spawn and Savage Dragon are the two longest running comic series.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. All right. Yay, 90s.
Yay.
It wasn't all for nothing.
And in an interview about this issue, Eric Larson was asked if we should be worried about anything with the birth of the child. His response was, "I'd be worried about everybody." So nobody's safe.
This dragon's going to be extra savage.
Now, there's another baby out there. Malcolm was told by another young lady that she was pregnant.
Uh-oh.
But then she said, "Oh no, it was all a trick trying to get you to marry me instead of Maxine." But she really was pregnant. The baby killed her. That came out. That's the thing, because he's an alien. Whoever's carrying his baby has to have treatments to keep the baby from coming on out.
Jeez.
Through not the normal way.
Wow.
And killing the host, essentially. She didn't have that because, he was like, okay. She says, "Oh no, I'm not pregnant. It was all just a trick." And
so she didn't know.
Like, okay.
She thought it used to be a regular pregnancy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so now there's a savage dragon running around out there somewhere. Yeah.
I'm imagining the aliens like.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's got the big fin on his head. So, little buck naked savage dragon.
Radical dragon
running down the hallway.
Hey, dude.
But yeah, it's a really good series. So you should pick up Savage Dragon and get into it. It's pretty cool.
Cool.
And believe it or not, from the reviews that I'm seeing on the prequel comics that are freebies with the General Mills cereals and Doritos and all these other products, the Batman vs Superman prequel comics are actually pretty good.
Really? Are they mini comics that come with food?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
but yet
which are never good.
Exactly, but they're actually good stories.
Cool.
And they're one of them made mention of Cord Omniversal.
Oh.
Again, another hope that maybe we'll see
Beetle.
Ted Cord, the Blue Beetle, on the
movie.
Oh man, that would be so awesome.
That'd be great. He's never been in anything ever.
No, nothing live action. Booster was on Smallville.
Okay. With Skeets?
No, I don't think he had Skeets, if I remember. But yeah, as far as I know, Blue Beetle's never had a live action.
Yeah, anything
premiere.
ever.
Yeah. I would love to see that. That would be awesome.
The other day I was looking and I posted on our Facebook page like all the Kenner action figures from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting to see the way that they released them, because they almost came in like these chunks where like you would see like, there'd be a chunk of New Gods.
Like a wave.
Yeah, and then there'd be like a Blue Beetle, and like there'd be sort of ancillary secondary characters and like a bunch of Batman. And it was like, if you look at that on the Facebook page, you see them in chunks. It's almost like how they valued them.
Yeah.
As they got to later editions, as the series was winding down, you get less and less of the bigger heroes. But some were still like
You get
large, great people.
one Superman and then a bunch of little
And then some B-list, yeah. But
Yeah.
then, like, there was a Mr. Miracle.
Yeah.
I mean, you just got to check out.
I always thought Mr. Miracle's costume
So
was
strange.
I liked it though. It had it. I don't know why, but it. I just liked the looks of it. It
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have no
I mean,
idea
it's-
why, but
He looks like Kick-Ass with a pop collar.
it is
I
pretty
mean, he's
much.
if you like that, that's
Yeah.
cool.
It's kind of cool looking.
Yeah. You like weird stuff.
I do. I admit it.
Okay.
And Marvel has released a preview of Spider-Woman Alpha #1,
Oh.
which features Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew,
Yep.
fresh off of having a baby, Silk, and Spider-Gwen as the three get together for some R&R and get trapped in an alternate dimension. They have to try to get back home while dealing with the organization known as Silk. That's not the
Character,
the
so.
character Silk. The organization, it's
They make soy milk, don't they?
they got a weird little almond guy walking around talking to you.
Yeah, right.
It's just weird.
Get those spider girls.
And I don't know what Silk stands for. I don't know if I don't even know what this organization is, but apparently they're hot on their heels. But it's a recurring thing that they're doing in their books where they get together every once in a while for brunch, even though they're on different Earths. Actually, Silk and Spider-Woman are here, and Spider-Gwen is on her Earth. So
And they travel, right?
they travel,
back and forth.
yeah. And I think that where they get stuck is Spider-Gwen's world. So they have to get back. So that's probably Silk is probably the organization on Spider-Gwen's world.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing much info on
Yeah.
it. It's Silk organized. Just the character. They're always showing just the character
Yeah.
from Edge of the Spider-Verse. Oh, wait. Here we go.
Okay.
Organization called Silk. It's Earth 65. Oh, no,
So
it's
that's-
exactly what. Yeah, nefarious organization called SILK.
Yeah.
That's as much as we got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So we'll have to maybe we'll get some information that will then follow up in the Spider-Gwen series.
yeah, perhaps. Like it's a spy organization. That organization are getting into bed with their longtime enemies of Hydra. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
But that I'm not sure the release date on that. It should be pretty soon, I believe.
Okay.
Next couple weeks probably. Is when Spider-Woman Alpha #1 will be coming out.
Nice. Will that be with the May group of solicitations?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
That's
yeah.
when everything's going to hit.
Yeah, they've been talking about it for a good while, so it's probably pretty close to coming out. So,
Awesome.
and that is a spin of our comic rack. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to explore the multiverse with Countdown to Final Crisis. This is part 3, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, let's just go with that.
Sure, that sounds good. Countdown to Final Crisis, Part 3.
Part 3.
Yeah.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Hi. I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
Well, before I left my campsite, I was putting out my fire, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear showed up and hugged me?
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. He likes it when people correctly put out their campfires. He's pretty big on wildfire prevention. He's just letting you know you did good with a hug. He's a hugger.
I just got a bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update!
All right, I'm going to let you go now. I've got a lot of ranger stuff to do. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
Now, it's time to explore the multiverse. On the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, welcome back to the Ninja Troll Digicast, and now it's time for our ongoing Exploring the Multiverse segment, where we start at the very beginning of the DC multiverse with the Flash of Two Worlds in Flash number 123 back in 60-something.
59 or something?
Was it 59? Yeah, it was right.
It was, right?
It was in the 50s. And then we went from there all the way up. And we're now up to Countdown to Final Crisis. And this apparently is part 2 now. We were saying 3, but now I think it's 2.
We went back in time.
Whatever it is, which would not be out of character for the Exploring the Multiverse segment.
It would not.
Going back in time.
Yes.
So, now here is Countdown to Final Crisis, part something.
Part 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Part 2.
Yeah. So this is, as Timmy mentioned, this is the Countdown to Final Crisis. Final Crisis is the actual Crisis story that will culminate at the end of this 52-issue series.
That's a big one.
Good Lord. And we thought we'd get through these pretty quick, but these are chock full. They did not go light on these. They were really generous with great stories, great all sorts of action and everything. So far, we've sort of seen a few things occur. What we're learning is that there's a multitude of monitors. There's 52 monitors that are stuck in this sort of paradigm world. There's still one verse.
They all have cornrows.
They all have cornrows, yeah. Yeah, and they're controlling something really big here. And essentially there's a few characters in this universe who are what are called jumpers, who have gone between different worlds and are sort of now out of place and have disrupted the timeline. So we still are in one universe.
And that was when we first started this, we were seeing a character called Karate Kid that neither one of us were really familiar with.
Yeah, I don't know.
I saw as I was flipping through some comics that somebody had up for sale.
Yeah, you mentioned you read something about it.
And it said it was Karate Kid #1, and it said leaping from the pages of Legion of Superheroes.
Oh.
So he's from Legion.
Oh, nice. So he's a future.
Exactly.
From the future. 30th century era.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's being held by the Justice League for some reason. But anyway, there's a whole mess of stories going on. But the real big bad stuff that's happening, that's lurking really, is the Rogues Gallery's back together, the Flash Rogues. They're up to no good. We're learning that Darkseid is up to no good. We learned that early on in the series, the first few issues, and that the monitors are sort of one monitor went and actually killed. I forget who he killed. But the monitors are going around.
That was Dula Dent, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, right. The Joker's daughter.
Yes.
Who had sort of mysteriously shown up. So there's now all these weird things,
She
weird
was out of place.
pocket people who are starting to show up. And that this is sort of showing that the multiverse is still right. We're in a universe, but there is fragments of a multiverse sort of living around. And we're going to learn today a little bit about how memory plays a role in that. That if people have a memory of the multiverse, it still exists.
Yeah, that was something that was actually established a ways back. That if somebody remembers that world,
it still exists.
It still exists,
and it can be recreated essentially. But we're all the other great sort of side story is Black Adam has transferred his powers to Mary Marvel, who is depowered, and she's become Black Mary, I guess, if you want to call it. Yeah, and she's
Proud Mary.
She looks, she looks great. I mean, she's like, and she's becoming darker though, because I guess the evil magic
It'll do that to you.
is seeping in.
Which issue are we on?
I believe we're on 6. We're going to start today with Weapon of War.
Okay.
Which I believe is 6 or 7. I've forgotten.
Okay.
But yeah, we're also following Jimmy Olsen, who's on the hunt for to discover sort of like who this Dula was it Dula Dent?
Dula Dent, yes.
Was, and then also why what was his name? The big evil new god who died, Light Ray. Who magically fell out of the sky and just crashed to the ground. He's dead. And then Superman flies up to see what's going on, and he sees that a boom tube has closed. And he's like, oh, well, it's got to be from Apocalypse or New Genesis. Yep. So we're going to shift our thinking there for a second. So we start off with Jimmy Olsen, who's investigating a tenement in Suicide Slum, which I suppose is in Gotham?
No, Suicide Slum is in, I think it's in Metropolis.
Is it? Okay.
They usually don't have places like that.
Yeah, Metropolis is all clean and beautiful. But while he's there, he finds the Apocalyptian refugee Sleaze, who I suppose has come to Earth to get away from Apocalypse, who tells Jimmy that he wants his revenge on Darkseid, who, just before being struck down by a blast from above. Oops. Yeah, so as he's talking to him, he's literally just obliterated. But there's an amazing dual spread that, again, getting into crisis tropes, really cool sort of interlude about the new gods, and it sort of shows them in a beautiful way. And just with a quick reading here from our Crisis
featured
story
reading.
Here. Yeah,
on the Ninja Troll Digicast.
Yeah, but it's got Granny Goodness and all the people. But he says, "But I could write a whole book and never convey the true scope of what they are, the new gods. The so-called new gods are insanely powerful aliens from two warring planets, Apocalypse and New Genesis. All of Apocalypse answers to Darkseid, and his enforcers, Kalabak, his son Desaad, his toady, and Granny Goodness, his
Granny.
Granny Goodness, his, well, there's not a word that can describe her. But even Apocalypse must have its good points if Mr. Miracle and his wife Big Barda came from there, right? So we can't forget that. Yep. And then there's New Genesis and the ruler Highfather, and it's home to the war god Orion, the brainy Metron, the far out tomorrow people, and my personal fave, Light Ray. So really cool spread. Everybody looks intense. They have Crisis face. I mean, it's really awesome. But this is good because it sets up this whole idea about the new gods and why they're now playing a role in what's going on. So here, we'll continue with what we got going on. So now we shift over, and Black Mary now battles and defeats a demon who's called Farron Gula, who's the harvester of stillborn souls. Then we see the rogues start to bicker with one another. And then this is the other important part, is that there's three main heroes who are sort of out of place. So we've got Donna Troy, Nightwing, and then, or I guess, the Red Hood.
Yes.
Jason Todd. Mm-hmm. So they are now attacked by what's a really cool Crisis trope, but now inversed, is a character called Forerunner. And she is a bad motor scooter, Timmy D. She is like rough, but she's an agent of the Monitors. She's one of the that faction of the Monitors who wants to sort of get hunt down the Time Jumpers and the Galaxy Jumpers. They're hunting down Red Hood and Donna Troy, and they have this epic battle. Like literally, she punches Red Hood in the face, and his hood comes off. I mean, his helmet splits. Yeah. And Donna Troy is also attacked. So she's the what do you call her again? The Star, Dark Star, Donna Troy.
Dark Stars, yeah.
So, oh man, when we see this fight, oh man, it's awesome. You need to see, because Donna Troy punches Forerunner in the face and splits her knuckles.
Yikes.
Yeah. So what I thought was really cool was that Forerunner was just like Harbinger, but like from the Monitors, because she was raised to be, and a warrior. And she was raised to be like by this race apparently that she's a part of was bred to be like fighters for the Monitors, but they were genetically altered to not ever kill the Monitors. So yeah, ape can never kill ape, I suppose.
I guess
never kill the creator. Yeah. So we also end this issue, Weapon of War, with a History of the Multiverse Part 4. There's a few of these that are really good.
I just want to, for a second, talk about this demon made of babies.
This is pretty dark.
That's pretty disturbing.
So Mary's fighting these really weird things now that she's become a Black Adam.
Yeah. It's a pretty disturbing picture.
Yeah.
It's a demon made out of babies. Yikes.
It's the best kind, I suppose. So this is History of the Multiverse Part 4. And we've seen these in a few of the issues. It's sort of at the end. And it gives like a recap of like all the Crisis stories. This has actually been great. Mm-hmm. Like I thought Infinite Crisis did a good job recapping.
Yeah.
This does an amazing job. So here we go. So it always starts off with the Monitors discussing stuff in the sort of time stream.
It's kind of them talking it out.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's their...
They kind of act like in Clash of the Titans when the gods speak amongst themselves. And
that's
like
the chorus.
Yeah, exactly. And then they sort of state the obvious and all that good stuff. Cool. All right, so the Monitors now continue to discuss the wisdom of more Multiverse Crisis stories, citing the Earth 2 Robin, who was all grown up and a JSA member.
Yeah. That
the two teams at one point had to fight each other under the control of some super baddies. We see the death of Earth 2 Robin. We also see that Red Tornado, who was created by Tio Morrow to do evil things, gains his own consciousness and then eventually helps the teams. The Monitor now cites how Dinah Drake can freely move between the worlds. and that during a battle with Aquarius, convinced the two Supermen of Earth 1 and Earth 2 to finally meet. Right, that occurred. But to have a battle royale, which only lasted 2 panels. I remember that. When Aquarius then, before the end of the story, hits Larry Lance with his energy, he caused a major shift in the balance. So now what we're going to start to hear about is these little tweaks of anomalies. So it started first with Barry Allen and Jay Garrick going back and forth, and then ultimately the Rogues, who were some of the first violators of the vibrational barrier. That like really it's a cops and robbers story. That the heroes are all these sort of they need marshalling by the monitors. Tornado, but that would essentially cause Canary to go and want to live on Earth 1 right after Larry is killed. Now, Red Tornado, at one point in another story, would be transformed into a cosmic magnet, drawing the two Earths together, and if not for the Spectre, once again stopping the crisis from occurring. But this was driven by like an outside race, alien race, who basically co-opted Tornado to be this sort of vibrational barrier idiot. So, or when we met the friends, new friends, right? Like good things here. It's not all bad things. The 7 Soldiers of Victory, and that was Speedy, Shining Knight, Green Arrow, and Enemy Ace, and Spy Smasher, and then the Freedom Fighters from Earth X, right? These are all good things that have come from this. Now, what I like to call Monitor Prime, he's like the main monitor who's like always telling the story. He makes a great quote. He says, with so much super protectors, you think that the multiverse would be safe, but you would be wrong. Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be much of a story.
No, then we'd be, exactly. It'd be like Convergence. Like, why are we, the dome's up, we're all of a sudden powered. How did we get here? This is stupid. All right, so shifting to the next issue, that would end our multiverse history there. Now we see that battle back in D.C. Donna Troy and Jason Todd are fighting Forerunner. And sorry for the language, but Forerunner is a bad bitch. She's evil, like straight up evil, and like she's going to kill somebody if something doesn't happen. At the National Mall, this is going down. So she's getting punched through monuments and stuff, and it's crazy. In fact, like this woman's so strong that Donna busts her knuckles on the face of Forerunner after punching her.
Yikes.
When then we quickly cut away to Jimmy Olsen, who continues to work on his story in the Suicide Slum, a story that has become even more stranger with the apparent death of Sleaze, right, the apocalyptian refugee who was murdered, by a blast from above. Now, back to the fight. A monitor now intervenes, forcing obedience on Forerunner. He tells her that her race was genetically altered to never hurt the monitors and takes Donna and Jason out of the fight for a special mission. Now, okay, there's one panel that's amazing, and Donna Troy has her Athenian shield and a sword, and she's pointing it, and she says, "Oh, I fully intend to give you an old school beatdown." I'm just saying, on top of it all, you're full of crap, right? And she's talking to Forerunner. Yeah, it's a great thing. Because Forerunner's all stoic and everything, and Donna's like, I'm about to kick your ass. Like, this is about to go down. Now, Holly Robinson meets a mysterious stranger on the streets of Metropolis. And Dr. Midnight, hey, he interviews the time-lost legion of superheroes on board the Justice League satellite. That's where Karate Kid is.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's finding out from him, like, well, why are you here? What's going on? Like, you've been seeing, they've been interrogating him one at a time. Now, back to the fight. Forerunner now, they're developing this. She's so heartbroken as a warrior, right? Like, she basically, like, was denied victory or denied a death in battle, that she severs her ponytail, which is some sort of symbol or sort of symbiotic link to her people. So she says, I'm now separated from the collective, and slices this thing off. And then, like, she's got like a little pixie crop top now, and is sort of like her own thing. And she starts to have more independent thought and say things on her own, which is quite interesting. So now she vows to remain on Earth. And, oh gosh, guess who's watching her, ready to all of a sudden now show up? Monarch. He's still around. Yeah, he's still around from whatever heck story that was.
That was Armageddon.
Right, 2001. Armageddon 2001, which then led up to what? What was right after Armageddon 2001?
It eventually led to Zero Hour.
Zero Hour, was
Yeah.
where he became extant and all
Yep.
that. Yeah. So he's around
It
still.
was a couple years after, but
And he's still in that blue costume. He's still the Hank Hall or right, and Dove, whatever they are, the two guys. I forget their names, both of them. But he's now watching her on some sort of handheld holo viewer somewhere nearby her in DC, because you can see DC stuff around him.
Yeah, you can see the Capitol.
And he's in the bushes, kind of watching.
Yikes.
All right, now we shift back to a History of the Multiverse Part 5.
Okay.
Right, which is the best of the Jason movies. So I had a couple questions here I want to ask you just about, because there's some stuff like I didn't quite get. Who is this? I'll show you this here, Timmy. There's like this character. He's got like a purple and yellow suit, and then just like, and it says here, it says on Earth 2, the misguided action of a mentor severely impacted the young man who trained at his side, turning him into a misshapen behemoth. So what hero is this?
I don't know. It doesn't look familiar to me.
Earth 2. So it's got to be a JSA member.
Yeah.
So this was some sort of side story that's quoted here that we never read. That's a Earth 2 only type thing.
Let me see if I can see who that is.
Okay.
Because I don't recognize the guy right off the top of my head.
I don't know what Earth this might be or whatever, but we also get a mention of Earth Prime now. That I guess Barry Allen was the first to travel to Earth Prime in order to set that up.
That's essentially our world.
Or the world where DC Comics...
Where the DC Comics exist.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then eventually the JLA and JSA would be forced to deal with a man of Earth Prime who gained extraordinary powers. So what was that editor from DC, remember? Where he became powered and a villain?
Julie Schwartz.
Yeah, exactly. He's a big idiot. And okay. So here's this summary here. Because Earths 1 and 2 were only minimally different, the heroes who could travel and understood the multiverse only assumed that all other Earths were also just minimal deviations. And this is a quote from one of the monitors, which proves what limited vision they possessed. We now see Earth Prime, which has no metahumans until a DC writer one day became super. We meet the Shazam family, right, on Earth S. We meet Bullet Girl, Bullet Man. Spy Smasher was from this Earth. I apologize. Mr. Scarlet, Pinky, and Ibis the Invincible. Then we saw later that Mordru, the Merciless, resurrected 3 demons 1,000 years into the future, and the heroes from the 2 Earths have to join their future counterparts in the fight, right? The Legion of Superheroes. Mm-hmm. Okay, now this I never heard of, but you may have had. But I guess Earth Prime got its first metahuman in this time period. A character named Ultra.
Ultra?
Yeah, with 2 A's. Ultra. Yeah, I wasn't sure where he had come from. But so he emerged on Earth Prime as their first metahuman, besides Julie Schwartz, I guess. Then the Lord of Time gathers Jonah Hex, Viking Prince, Miss Liberty, Black Pirate, and Enemy Ace as a super villain team. Then we saw Earth 2's Batman die at the hands of Bill Jensen, leaving his legacy to his daughter, the Huntress. Who's Bill Jensen?
I don't know.
Okay, that's how Earth 2 Batman died.
Huh.
Yeah. Because remember, he had already died in a story that we had still seen Robin in, Earth 2 Robin, before he was killed. And then, I guess, good old Bill Jensen.
Good old Bill Jensen.
Yeah, killed Batman of Earth 2. And that's where Huntress, not Bertinelli, but Valerie Wayne, I guess, fills his legacy.
Yeah.
We'd lose more comrades when the Spirit King possessed Jay Garrick, who inadvertently kills Terry Sloan, the original Mr. Terrific of Earth 2. There is a reference here to individuals, to individual Earth 1 heroes having multiverse adventures with their Earth 2 counterparts, besides the Flashes, right? So Green Lantern and Atom both had crossover stories. Basically, there was an Atom and Green Lantern of 2 worlds that they did standalone crossover stories with in their own series, their own titles. Newer and greater perils now face the heroes: the evil of Darkseid, the opportunistic Ultra Humanite, and the enigmatic Commander. Right? These were some super baddies that had come and started to mess with the heroes of the two Earths. But the emergence of Earth Prime Superman and a pocket universe orbiting the one Earth after the crisis would prove to be what they said, a crisis of infinite proportions. So now we're getting reference to Crisis on Infinite Earths. Like, we've gone through all the stories. A couple of those were, they didn't mention everything, right?
Yeah,
they didn't talk about the Thunderbolts or anything at all, which were really critical. I mean, because Crisis Times 5 was a Thunderbolt story.
Yeah.
So that's a shame. Okay, so we're in the next issue now called Chains of Address.
Okay.
So now Mary Marvel flies to the Rock of Eternity. And she finds that Billy Batson is now the sole reservoir for the power of Shazam.
Ooh.
So Shazam is no longer there. So he Billy looks all old and like he's sort of a mixture of Captain. He's all buff, but then he's old. So he's old buff. And he mentions that Freddy, which I assume is Captain Marvel Jr.
Yes.
Okay, is currently going through the trials to become the next Captain Marvel.
Oh.
So Billy Batson will become Shazam, and then Freddy will become Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay.
I guess and fill that role. Now, Forerunner meets Monarch in DC, who offers her a chance for redemption. So she's at her low point. He's going to capitalize. And then Jimmy Olsen is assaulted by a group of street thugs and manages to repel them when he spontaneously generates sharpened skin projectiles.
Oh, my God.
Which stab all of them.
That's pretty twisted.
It's really twisted. And then we shift then to Holly Robinson, who's miraculously at this amazing spa for Amazonians. Okay.
It's the best.
Everybody's walking around in a towel. It's kind of nice. Steamy baths. She meets Athena, the goddess Athena, who invites her to stay at a halfway house patterned after an ancient Greek temple. Okay. Now at this halfway house, she meets a very important person, which I'll tell you about in a second. Then now Captain Marvel, Shazam, tells Mary that she has become evil. He can't even believe that she would have ever thought to have taken Black Adam's powers. But she's like, Billy, I was alone and I called out to you and the lightning never struck. So that's awful. So she storms off angry, and that ends the main continuity story of the issue. And we get another History of the Multiverse part 6. All right, so this is our second to last. We'll have one more and then one more multiverse story, and then we'll be done with today's segment.
Okay.
So now Monitor Prime recounts the coming of the Great Crisis, right? So it was a wave of antimatter that swept across the multiverse. As Earth 3 dies, so this is a quick version of Crisis on Infinite Earths. As Earth 3 dies, Lex and Lois Luthor put their new infant son in a small capsule and then sent him through the vibrational barrier to Earth 1. It's Alexander. And there's a comment here where they pull away from the story, and he says, strangely enough, there was only one Monitor to guard the multiverse then. So as a result of the multiverse opening up again in Infinite Crisis and then shattering back down, caused this pocket universe to house all 52 Monitors.
Okay.
Which is cray-cray. Because our Monitor died, right?
Yeah. Yep.
We never saw him resurrected at all.
No.
At any point. So, and he says if we had had counterparts like this, like we do now, maybe the multiverse could have survived. So then he assembled heroes to join him in the fight. This Monitor sought to place machines at key points in the multiverse in order to prevent the antimatter wave from consuming it all. He was then murdered by his own protege and associate, Harbinger. Ultimately, this evil was unleashed by the Anti-Monitor, but if not for Alexander Luthor playing a critical role in the crisis, keeping a netherverse intact. We did lose Supergirl and Barry Allen. Even the Spectre stepped in, but the multiverse was lost, and a new creation had to begun. In the final battle, the heroes pushed the Anti-Monitor to a peak point in battle when Darkseid finally sends a lethal dose of Omega energy through Alexander Luthor that then allows for Earth 2 Superman to deliver the final smashing blow. Seemingly dead, and with one stable universe, Alexander, Earth 2 Superman, Salt and Pepper, Lois, and Superboy Prime all go to live in a utopia paradise in a pocket universe.
That did turn out well.
Yeah, right. And things then were seemingly peaceful, becoming peaceful. All right, so now let's shift to the next issue. This is called The Funeral. Okay, now this funeral, this was interesting. This is the main continuity story of Countdown. But apparently, and thanks to the wonderful research abilities of Timmy D, we found out that in the issue Flash number 13, The Fastest Man Alive, from June 2007, that in fact Bart Allen was killed by the Rogues.
That was the last. That was the last issue of the Bart Allen series,
where he was Flash.
Flash, Fastest Man Alive,
and he was killed by Inertia.
Yeah, Inertia was the evil clone of Bart, who had come back in time and was leading the Rogues
at the time.
And they were able to kill him. He actually they had pulled the Speed Force out of him, so he was completely depowered.
Yeah.
And but the machine that pulled the Speed Force out of him, it had to be released again, or else it was going to explode and destroy the entire West Coast. So even though he didn't have any power, he fought he took them on to give the people time to get to the machine and get it
shut
get
down,
it fixed.
Oh, cool.
And they beat him to death, basically.
Ooh.
So he knew he didn't have any powers, and he knew it was suicide. But he went and sacrificed himself to essentially save the West Coast, everybody on the West Coast.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry, I'm just seeing for the first time because I didn't read this comic.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, when you come into this issue, Flash is dead. It's the funeral for Bart.
Yeah.
And everybody's crying. I mean, it's like all crazy. Wow, I'm seeing an image here of Bart dying.
Yeah, and they put a statue of him at the Flash Museum in Titan's Tower.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oof. Boy, oh boy. Wow, that's rough. So we got another Flash death.
Yep.
Which it wouldn't be a crisis story if someone
Flash
didn't die.
die.
That's right. So we start off now. This issue is called The Funeral, and funeral services are held for Bart Allen at the Flash Museum, who had been murdered by the Rogues. Cyborg and Wonder Girl get up and give very passionate speeches, but Wonder Girl breaks from sort of the somber tone and then vows by smashing the thing that she's going to hunt down and kill these bastards. Yeah, in a very impassioned way.
Wow.
But at the event, Pied Piper and Trickster are there. They go to dressed up.
That's pretty ballsy.
Yeah, right. And they're like, if anybody finds, we're dead. Like, we're so dead if anything happens. And they go to try and escape, but they're sort of hit off by Deadshot and Multiplex.
Oh boy.
Who try to sort of take them out, but Piper and Trickster get away. Now, all of a sudden, this is so weird, but Bart shows up in a giant video at his own funeral.
That's how I want it to be.
And he says, he starts making jokes and stuff and says,
of course.
Hey, before I died, I wanted to do this video, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, remember me as and it's like it's a really more, like, people in the audience are like, this is so weird. Oh my God, we can't see this guy. That's so bizarre. But then we shift after the funeral. There's some setup there with Donna and Jason Todd and stuff about sort of what's going to happen next. And Holly Robinson now is making herself comfortable at Athena's shelter. And I was saying before that she's going to meet somebody very special, and she meets somebody named Harleen Quinzel, who just so happens to be at the spa.
Puddin'.
And they have a little steamy moment talking about, oh, hi, oh, yeah, cool, right. So that's going to blow up and be very interesting.
Yes.
And now Forerunner has been sort of thoroughly convinced by Monarch, and he takes her into this – there's this place called, the Rift or the Tear or whatever. It's where Monarch is amassing his forces. He has a gigantic intergalactic army of, mech troops that are ready to launch. I mean, they look like the First Order.
Yeah.
Really cool. Drawn scenes are all red and everything. Monarch makes Forerunner the general of his army.
Nice.
And he's like, if you want to be, glorious, here it is. We're about to go, and we're going to take on the world.
Cool.
So, really awesome. We're about to have a big epic showdown. But to conclude this issue, we have another History of the Multiverse, Part 7. So, remarking about the multiverse collapsing to one, the monitors discussed that if a memory of the multiverse existed in any man, that it could be reimagined and could reemerge if somebody with the correct powers could do that. So when the multiverse collapsed after Crisis, it created a new timeline where the multiverse actually never existed. What monitors are calling this era the Great Unraveling. So it's from the end of Crisis on, is called The Great Unraveling. It's where the worst things in DC Comics history happened, and things really went astray. And this is cool because they're saying this is sort of what led up to today's events or what's going on.
Okay.
So the combined worlds ushered in a glut of heroes. So that's one of the issues, is that like all these heroes from different Earths are now
all
in one space.
Place. Yeah.
Even Captain Marvel and Ray live in this new existence when they should be living in other places and times. The Justice Society had vanished amid the chaos of the Crisis, but after the universe reformed, the JSA was found to be stuck in an endless Ragnarok, eventually returning to their former roles and selves, which I guess happened in the 80s or 90s, when the JSA went away and came back. Then the universe's greatest hero was nearly killed for good, right? Superman, Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Finally, but after that, a man who turned his back on being a hero sought to reconstruct the timeline to his liking. Hal Jordan, right, under the control of Parallax.
Big shoulder pads.
Oh, yeah. You need those to make a universe. It's a lot of weight on your shoulders.
That's true.
And but they sort of reflect here, when heroes do fall, there are often others who come and take their place in a greater way, right? Kyle Rayner, for example. Yeah. Or Jaime Reyes, right? Sort of coming in and really being a Wally West, being great fillers of that archetype. Mm-hmm. They call this a renaissance time of heroes, of people willing to sacrifice it all for the betterment of humanity, which we were not seeing from our previous heroes. Mm-hmm. They were all dying or turning bad. But great heroes like Ralph Dibny saw tragedy when his wife Sue was killed. The JSA gathered around to hunt down that killer. I guess this was when the JSA came back.
Yeah, that was.
It was 52.
No, it was Identity Crisis is when they hunted down her killer.
Oh, right, but what is it? 50? When is 52? What did they do?
That was
with
after Identity Crisis.
That's when he just has his trip out.
Yeah.
And he wears the ring, wicker ring of her wicker bot. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So it's Identity Crisis.
Yeah.
Gosh, maybe I should read Identity Crisis.
You should.
Well, I have, but I wonder for our segments maybe.
Yeah, I don't think it wasn't really a multiverse thing. It was kind of what would real superheroes in our real world have to do. It was more that
one of their ranks was killed.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because they immediately thought that it was Dr. Light who had attacked Sue previously on the JLA satellite.
Yeah.
But Zatanna, I guess after that event, erased his memory of the event that he had done that. I guess it was a pretty brutal attack. But the team still felt it had to be him. It's got to be him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is interesting, right? The fact that Zatanna started to erase memories led to a real bad time when she actually erased Batman's memory.
Yeah, he was not happy.
No, and then he later finds out that that's the case. Here's the deal. Once Batman sort of discovers that, he sort of realizes, I need to have a fail-safe, right, for all of my comrades. If anything ever goes down, anybody can change. If Zatanna can do this, she can wipe Superman's memory.
Yep.
She can do whatever and have everybody sort of kill everything and destroy everything. So Batman creates a fail-safe known as Brother Eye.
That did not work well.
Which he launches into space, yeah. Which would be a satellite that would basically monitor and track all the heroes and sort of, if anything were to go down, I guess it launches OMAX, right? Is that sort of the whole thing? That's the sort of countermeasure? Mm-hmm. Sorry, you were gesturing. What were you going to say?
That was what I was reading along with you, and I saw that was when he came up with Brother Eye.
With Brother Eye, yeah. Because, he can't trust anybody now.
Yeah.
Because I think at the time, wasn't Zatanna... Yeah, he never did. Yeah. Wasn't Zatanna the chairman of the Justice League
probably
at this time?
Yeah.
Because she's got her old costume, and I remember that was when she was more of a leader type of thing. So even worse, when they do find out who Sue Dibny's murderer is, that it's Jean Loring, the former wife of Ray Palmer, that basically she did it because she went crazy, and she thought that doing this would bring Ray back to her.
Yeah.
Which was horrible.
Yeah.
Then...
Damn, I got to see this again.
Yeah, Maxwell Lord decides to shoot and kill Ted Cord, the Blue Beetle.
Right in the head.
Just blasted him.
Not cool.
And then to thinking that she's going to right the wrong, Wonder Woman snaps his neck on live television. Yeah. Which sort of leaves us at this current place in time, right? Just sort of getting ready to just set up Infinite Crisis.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we're going to see in future issues the next part of this history of the multiverse, where we'll probably get into that and learn more about what's going on there. So this, Timmy, is where we're going to stop with our countdown to Crisis. Next week, we're going to read the Shock to the System, where Mary Marvel patrols Gotham City and enters into a temporary alliance with the Riddler.
Ooh.
And they go on a mission to defeat Clayface. So,
Clayface.
Yeah.
I love him.
And we're going to learn a little bit more about Ray Palmer, because Ray Palmer was the all-knowing wall, whatever it is, that like tells the source wall, right? That's in the Monitor's satellite.
Mm-hmm.
They looked at it and it said the savior of the Crisis is Ray Palmer.
Ray Palmer.
They don't say how or anything, but apparently Ray's in the microverse.
Oh, that's right. He went down to the subatomic level.
Nanoverse, whatever.
Yeah,
so they're talking about trying to go into the nanoverse to find Ray.
Okay.
So we can figure out why he's so important, right, and what's going on. And then learning about the killer, Jean Loring, I'm sure will have something to do with what's going on with Ray. I guess what they call it the Palmerverse.
Yes.
The nanoverse. And then Holly Robinson and Harley Quinn are going to hatch a plan.
Yikes.
So there's going to be some cool stuff, some fun zaniness coming up.
Shenanigans.
So far, oh my God, this has been an awesome story.
It was not just a throwaway. That was
not at all.
Yeah. There's a lot of really good stuff in here. So
it really is. So this has been your bartender at the Misty Borderland Lounge saying, try a craft beer.
Stay classy, multiverse.
Stay classy. Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up our Exploring the Multiverse segment. And before we get out of here, we just want to take a second look at our picks of the week. My pick is the Daredevil Punisher Seventh Circle series that just came out from Marvel. It's a as they call them, Infinite Comics, which is a digital only, basically.
Oh, okay.
and they're turned
landscape.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So it's interesting. You have to I have to turn my my tablet to the side to and Supergirl's the same way, and the Flash
Arrow
and the Arrow series
Mid-season.
and the Dark Archer comic as well, the same way. So, but
Cool.
it's a really good story.
Does it have guided view like the some of the
Yes.
readers, like the Comixology reader has?
Yeah.
Cool.
And a lot of the pages, it's like you have a panel here and the rest of it is dark. You go to the next page and it fills in a panel, and then it fills in another panel.
Oh, that's much different
Yeah.
than guided view,
Yeah.
which is just a cropping and zooming type of thing.
Yeah. So
Cool.
it's a very and it's a very good story. It's Matt Murdock is now a district attorney. So he's
New
trying.
York?
Yes, and he's transferring somebody to a different venue because he can't get an impartial jury there. But somebody decides that instead of going somewhere else, he's got an impartial jury all of his own, and Frank's trying to take him out before he gets anywhere.
Nice.
So he hears him and knows who it is. It's like, okay, wait a minute. There's a shooter. He's up here. That can't be. I only know, what was it he said? I only know 2 men and 1 woman who could make that shot. I forget now who, but he basically, it's not Bullseye's gig, unless he's being paid for. Or no, if it was Bullseye, we'd all be dead by this time. And he eliminated. I forget now who the female. Oh,
Yeah, who's the
Black
female?
Widow?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that makes
and
sense.
he's like, this is not her style. And if it was Bullseye, we'd all be dead by now.
So it's got to be Frank.
So it's got to be Frank. So,
Now, does this have anything to do with the show, like the Arrow and Flash comics?
no,
did?
I think it's just the.
It's just a digital only series.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. But it's a very good story. So yeah, I definitely suggest picking up. So Daredevil, Punisher, Seventh Circle.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Of hell.
Yes,
Hell's Kitchen.
it may end up that way. But yeah, it's a very good series, so check it out.
Awesome. I discovered on Netflix the other day, and I posted to our Facebook page, the Flashpoint Paradox animated movie for that great graphic novel, I guess, or series run.
Series, yeah. Big event that changed everything and created the New 52 reboot.
I don't know if that's good, but
yeah.
But it brought back Barry Allen, right?
Yep. No, he had been back, and that was caused by something from the TV show. He went back in time and prevented his mother's murder.
Oh, okay, cool.
And that's what caused the Flashpoint, the messed up Flashpoint universe. That's what caused it. He went back in time and he
altered the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I haven't read that story yet, so
okay.
I'm excited to see the comic book version.
Yeah.
Or the animated version.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how close it stays too. Anytime they make an animated version of something, I'm interested to see how close it stays to it. Because Flashpoint was a very good story, and he has to look at, okay, I caused all this, and he goes when things aren't right. He goes to find Bruce Wayne because he's like, okay, we need to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
He finds Batman, but it's not Bruce Wayne.
Oh, who is it?
Thomas Wayne.
Thomas Wayne. So it's Earth 2?
No, it's a completely different, new one.
Yeah, yeah.
And he has to explain to him, listen, where's your son? And Thomas loses he loses it on him, and because in that little offshoot universe, Bruce was killed, and that's what made Thomas become Batman.
Oh, wow.
And he has to explain to him, listen, myself and your son were like best of friends, and I really need his help to figure out what the hell's going on. He's not here, so I need you to help me. So they have to kind of recreate because he doesn't have his power. So Thomas helps him try to recreate the accident that gave him his powers.
Are you kidding?
So he's got him strapped to like a lightning rod. Yeah. All
right, that's a little bit over the top.
But it works well in the series. It is actually really. I mean, unfortunately, it gave us the New 52, which is far from perfect. But the story, the Flashpoint story itself, is really good.
And so far, this seems to be, I guess, was Emerald Knights a Green Lantern?
Yeah, Emerald Knight was Emerald Knight or Emerald Knights?
Knights.
Okay, yeah, that was a Green Lantern series.
Cartoon, okay. Or
it was a cartoon, okay.
Well, I'm just looking to see, like, from the, because Flashpoint Paradox seems to be one of the few stories that was from comics that got made into an animated show.
It was an animated movie.
Because, like, the Crisis of Two Earths was the Earth 3 story, was what they called it. Mm-hmm. And then there was Throne of Atlantis, which I think is the only other. Wasn't that a series?
No, that was a movie.
That was just a movie. Okay.
Yeah. It came out last year, I think.
Yeah.
The year before.
Gosh, it just seems like they've got just a few.
Emerald Knights was, it says not a direct sequel to First Flight, which was his animated origin movie.
Okay.
It used much of the same character design, and includes a cameo by Chip, who had a speaking role in the previous film.
Okay.
So yeah, it wasn't quite a straight sequel, but still kind of.
Gotcha. Well, they have an opportunity there, I wonder, to try and maybe make some of these bigger. Like, I would love to see a Crisis on Infinite Earths animated movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, that would be amazing if they took that epic and tried to wrap it up. You know, see the Monitor animated and stuff. That'd be awesome. So anyway,
okay.
Yeah.
Emerald Knights it's an anthology. So it's got several different stories on it. Just like Batman Gotham Knight, they released a couple years.
Emerald Knight.
Yeah. Batman Gotham Knight was in, what year was it? I remember when it came out. 2008. And this Emerald Knight came out in 2011.
Yeah.
So it's got a bunch of different stories on it. instead of one complete.
I see. So it's stories all about different lanterns.
Yeah.
Green lanterns, I guess.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. The first lantern, Kilowog, Lara, Mogo, and Abin Sur.
Oh, Abin Sur was the
one before.
Preceder of
Yes.
Hal.
Yes. And Mogo is the planet.
Oh, right, the planet lantern.
Yes. Yeah. I believe so. Mogo.
So funny.
Yes. The
Yeah, it
planet.
is. Yeah, because I remember they went there in the last story we read.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah.
The whole planet.
Yeah. At first I was like, is that Oa? Like, why is it?
It's like why's it got a big strap on it?
Yeah,
that's the ring.
Yeah,
It's just a really big ring.
Somebody holding the planet together with their power.
Fist of the North Star.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up this week's edition of the Ninja Troll Digicast. Remember, for all the latest news from all around geek culture, make sure you follow us on social media, facebook.com/Ninja Troll Digicast.
We're on classmates.com. No, we're on Twitter at Ninja Troll Show.
And Instagram at Ninja Troll Digicast.
We're on YouTube at youtube.com/C/Ninja Troll Digicast.
And you can always visit us at NinjaTrollDigicast.com. And while you're there, click on the subscribe to iTunes button to get the Ninja Troll on iTunes. Make sure you join us next week. Same Ninja time, same Ninja channel.
You've been listening to the Ninja Troll Digicast. Tune in next time when you'll hear Mike say,
"Not what's the matter, what's the anti-matter?"
This is the Ninja Troll Digicast, the defenders of all things geek culture.
Don't go ninja, nobody don't need ninja.